Chapter 848. Feng Shanshan couldn't do anything to Tang Yin, so she could only wait for Xiao Xing to come over and take his place. Feng Shanshan didn't know that Xiao Xing was good at martial arts. She just felt that Tang Yin was always making things difficult for the little girl. Then, Professor Tang, his wife, and Xiao Xing accompanied Feng Shanshan to the hospital. However, because Song Xiaoji had something to do today, another doctor examined Feng Shanshan. Miss Feng, Dr. Song asked for leave this morning, but she told us to take good care of you, so don't worry. Feng Shanshan smiled. She felt a little embarrassed with 3 family members by her side. I've read the report. The baby is very healthy and his indicators are normal. When you go back, just pay attention to rest and maintain a happy mood. At home, listen to more music and do prenatal education. But these few days, my heart has been palpitating and uncomfortable. This has something to do with the season. Try to eat a light diet. It's not a big problem. You'll be fine after some recuperation, the other party replied with a smile. Don't worry, the child is fine. Feng Shanshan heaved a sigh of relief when she heard that the baby was fine. Sister-in-law, since you're fine, let's go back. Xiao Xing quickly helped Feng Shanshan up. It's been hard on you. You always waste time accompanying me. Feng Shanshan misunderstood Xiao Xing's meaning. That's not what I meant. I just feel that I have a great responsibility. If I don't send you home as soon as possible, I'll be very nervous, Xiao Xing quickly explained. I think you're very easy to get along with. I don't mean to dislike you. I'm just teasing you. Feng Shanshan smiled. I'm not much older than you. Don't be so serious. Xiao Xing heaved a sigh of relief and patted her chest. Boss's iceberg face scares me. Don't you think it's very charming? Feng Shanshan pretended to be surprised and asked. Xiao Xing was stunned for a moment and shook her head like a rattle drum. When he looks at me, I feel a bone-chilling coldness. Tang Yin was usually serious, so it was no wonder that the little assistant was afraid, because they didn't understand how cold this man was on the outside, but warm on the inside. The 3 of you wait at the door. I'll go get the car, Professor Tang said to his wife and Feng Shanshan. Then hurry up, Mrs. Tang shouted at the professor. Then, she placed her palm on Feng Shanshan's bulging abdomen. Shanshan, I think this is a boy. Auntie, you know how to read? Mrs. Tang smiled mysteriously. After a while, Tang Jiao's car stopped in front of them. Get in the car. Let's go home. They smiled and got into the car, thinking that their mission would be over if they could send Feng Shanshan home safely. However, in the dark, after the security guard saw them leave the hospital, he immediately said to the person on the phone, "We've already set off. Then let's follow the plan." On the way back, the car broke down and stopped halfway. They looked at each other, and the atmosphere suddenly became tense. Mrs. Tang immediately looked at the professor and said, "Hurry up and go down and take a look." The professor immediately opened the door and got out of the car. Then, Mrs. Tang explained, "Your uncle doesn't like to drive, so he doesn't usually use the car. He might have a small problem. Don't be nervous." Feng Shanshan wasn't nervous, but Xiao Xing looked around. This was just an ordinary road, surrounded by greenery, and there were no businesses. Therefore, she could not help but hold Feng Shanshan's arm. It's okay. A moment later, the professor walked around the front of the car and said, "No, we'll probably have to take a taxi." "Then let's take a taxi. It'll be quick." Mrs. Tang helped Feng Shanshan out of the car. Professor Tang called for a tow truck while Mrs. Tang stopped at the intersection and was about to take a taxi. At that moment, a black car drove over and several men in black got out of the car. When Professor Tang saw this, he immediately ran over and pointed at the 5 men. "What are you doing?" Xiao Xing pushed Feng Shanshan back and said to Mrs. Tang, "Madam, please protect sister-in-law, Xiao Xing." A little girl was facing 5 grown men without any fear. In addition, Professor Tang still had some foundation, so the current situation was 2 against 5. Song Xiaoji was right. Xiao Xing's skills were indeed strong and powerful. She did not lose to men at all. Mrs. Tang's expression changed. She hid to the side with Feng Shanshan. Shanshan, call the police. Feng Shanshan took out her phone and was about to make a call when another car of men in black quickly arrived and snatched Feng Shanshan's phone. "Xiao Xing, go save Shanshan." I'll handle this, Professor Tang quickly shouted when he saw Feng Shanshan being held up. This group of people was simply lawless. They actually dared to make a move in broad daylight. However, he did not know that even the car had been tampered with in advance, which was why it broke down halfway. This was what had happened in the hospital parking lot, but he did not know that. Xiao Xing shook off the three men who were pestering her and quickly ran in Feng Shanshan's direction. However, Feng Shanshan was about to be stuffed into the car. Xiao Xing was very anxious. She was afraid that the few of them would use force against Feng Shanshan. She was pregnant now and could not withstand such torment. It was precisely because she was pregnant that Feng Shanshan did not make any unnecessary movements when the conditions did not allow it. This was because she knew that she was pregnant with Tang Yan's child. Soon, the alarm sounded not far away. The first 5 men immediately climbed into the car and sped away. On the other side, Feng Shanshan was about to be taken away. At this critical moment, a red car suddenly blocked the way in front of the car. Song Xiaoji got out of the car in a white coat and took out the pepper spray she carried with her. She grabbed one of the men and glanced at his eyes. "Come and help." When Feng Shanshan saw another man get out of the car to grab Song Xiaoji, she quickly got out of the car. She quickly opened Song Xiaoji's car door and sat in. Another man wanted to grab Feng Shanshan, but he was stopped by Xiao Xing. Song Xiaoji made a prompt decision and got into the car. She said to Feng Shanshan, "Sit tight." "Dr. Song, why are you here?" "This is the only way to work. I was doing something and happened to see it when I returned to the hospital," Song Xiaoji explained. "Who are those people? Why are they so bold? Is Jianchuan's public security so chaotic?" "I don't know either. They're probably my husband's enemies." Feng Shanshan only felt the lingering fear now. Then, she said to Song Xiaoji, "Dr. Song, can I borrow your phone? It's in my bag." Her phone had been snatched, but Feng Shanshan remembered Tang Yan's phone number. However, Tang Yan could not be reached. Chapter 849. I'll send you to my house first. It's safe this way. When we arrive, I'll think of a way to help you inform them, Song Xiaoji said. "Thank you, Dr. Song." After putting down the phone, Feng Shanshan finally understood what it felt like to tremble. Song Xiaoji looked at Feng Shanshan from the rearview mirror and thought to herself, "What an innocent woman. What a pity. After all, Professor Tang was old and could not withstand such a big torment." When the police arrived, he was already so tired that he sat on the side and panted. Mrs. Tang hurriedly went up to take care of him. As for the men behind them, when they saw the police arrive, they scattered in all directions. In order to catch one of them, Xiao Xing had disappeared. "I wonder how Shanshan is doing. Her phone is broken." Mrs. Tang picked it up from the ground and held it in her hand. "Who are these people?" Professor Tang wiped his sweat and said slowly, "It might be someone trying to take revenge on Tang Yan." Fortunately, the doctor came in time. "Then let's hurry to the hospital and contact someone to bring Shanshan back." Mrs. Tang helped the professor up. The two of them showed their identities and got into the police car. "Give Tang Yan a call, too." "I can't get through," Mrs. Tang said bitterly. "Really? How do we offend so many people? Isn't this what being a police officer is like? When revenge comes, it's impossible to guard against it." Professor Tang said helplessly, "Tang Yan will investigate this matter himself when he comes back. I'm just worried about what will happen to Shanshan in the future. She will suffer with him." Mrs. Tang wanted to defend her nephew, but she didn't know where to start. Who wouldn't be afraid when a pregnant girl encountered such a dangerous situation? "Don't talk so much. Let's go." The two of them wanted to go to the hospital and quickly contacted Song Xiaoji. On the other side, Song Xiaoji had already brought Feng Shanshan into the house. "Sit anywhere. Don't be nervous. It's safe here." After Song Xiaoji entered the door, she handed Feng Shanshan a pair of slippers. "You stay here for now. I think it's chaotic outside. It's enough for your family to handle." "Dr. Song, can I use your phone again?" Now, she was worried about the safety of Professor Tang and his wife. Also, she wanted to contact Mu Qiqi. At least, the only person she could think of now was Mu Qiqi. "Take it." Song Xiaoji took out her phone and handed it to Feng Shanshan. Feng Shanshan immediately dialed, but found that the number could not be dialed at all. There was no signal. Dr. Song, can I go to the balcony? There's no signal here. Okay. I poured you a glass of water. Take your time. Song Xiaoji's smile was warm and not aggressive at all. After getting permission, Feng Shanshan immediately walked to the balcony. Other than Tang Yan's number, she could not remember Mu Qiqi's number completely. She could only try to call it. But at this moment, she felt dizzy. By the time she reacted, it was already too late, and she fainted on the ground. Song Xiaoji could not bear to see her fall to the ground. Was a pregnant woman of 4 to 5 months going to die in her hands, just like that? Then, Chungbin called. Miss Song, can you hand him over to me now? I never intended to hand her over to you. I have other uses for Feng Shanshan, so I'll take her with me. I'll send you photos regularly. When the time comes, you can still lure Tang Yan into the trap. Song Xiaoji refused decisively. No, Mr. Jean sent you to assist me. What are you doing now? Chungbin said angrily on the other side of the phone. Don't play tricks on me. I'll do anything for revenge. You already have something on me. I won't give her to you. Besides, I'm only helping my father get rid of Tang Yan. I didn't say that I was going to hand over the pregnant woman. After saying that, Song Xiaoji hung up the phone. Everything was under control. She secretly sent her away. Then, she drugged herself and fainted. Everything was flawless. Immediately after, the neighbors found that Song Xiaoji's door was wide open and immediately called the police. When Professor Tang and the other two arrived, Song Xiaoji was also sent to the hospital. The doctor said that she had inhaled a small amount of drugs, and Feng Shanshan had already disappeared. Professor Tang immediately panicked. Song Xiaoji also weakly apologized to the two elders. I'm sorry. I thought that we would be safe if I brought Miss Feng back to my house. I didn't expect someone to follow us. What could Professor Tang say? She had been dragged into this for no reason and was now lying in the hospital injured. Could they blame her? Old Tang, Shanshan is missing. The child is missing. Think of a way. Think of a way to contact Tang Yan. Mrs. Tang was anxious. She was perfectly fine. She was handed over to us, and now she's gone. If Tang Yan comes back and asks, how can we face him? Song Xiaoji closed her eyes, as if she was thinking carefully. After a moment, she said, before she fainted, Shanshan lent me her phone. I don't know who she called, but it might be someone she trusts. Think about it. Other than her husband, who else does she trust? Professor Tang suddenly seemed to have woken up from a dream. Chi-Chi, but Chi-Chi is also sick at home now. How can I disturb her? I'll go back to the station first and tell the chief about this. I can only try to contact Tang Yan. Since the other party is here for Tang Yan, it means that they won't do anything to Shanshan for the time being. You make it sound so easy. Shanshan is pregnant now. She can't withstand any torture. Mrs. Tang was not so optimistic. Sigh, it's all my fault. Professor Tang was so anxious that he stomped his feet. The matter was neither big nor small, and it was even on the news. Then, Su Che received the news and immediately went into the office to tell Sheng Xiao, Feng Shanshan is missing. Sheng Xiao suddenly raised his head and looked at Su Che. When did this happen? I went home from the prenatal checkup in the morning. I was intercepted on the way. Now, her whereabouts are unknown. President, should we tell Madam? Sheng Xiao shook his head. I know what I'm doing. Go and understand the process carefully. Chi cannot know about this. This was because he knew Mu Qiqi's personality very well. She only cared about these few people. If she found out that Feng Shanshan was missing, she would not be able to quietly nurture the fetus at home. This was what Shang Kai had said before. Jinbo had asked Chungbin to make a move. Now, he had captured Feng Shanshan to deal with Tang Yan. Since it was to wait for Tang Yan, Feng Shanshan's life would not be in danger now, but he did not dare to think about whether the child could still be saved. At the Jianchuan branch office, the professor returned to the station and went straight to the chief's office. Chief, let Tang Yan come back. Something happened. He's on a mission now. He won't be back until the afternoon. Shanshan is missing. She's been kidnapped. Professor Tang said helplessly. Back then, I shouldn't have allowed him to go undercover. Otherwise, his family wouldn't have been ruined. If anything happens to Shan Shan, will Tang Yin still be able to live? Perhaps it was because he heard the professor's last sentence that the chief suddenly came to a realization. He made a phone call. Bring Tang Yin back immediately. Chapter 850. Now that the matter had blown up, everyone knew that Feng Shanshan had been kidnapped, but she was not in Cheng Bin's hands. Cheng Bin thought about it and felt that it was ironic. He had underestimated Song Qiaoji. However, as Song Qiaoji had said, she had sent Cheng Bin photos of Feng Shanshan being tied up. These were enough to lure Tang Yin into the trap. What AB******? What if she told him to play the empty city ruse? However, he had no other choice now. He could only follow his original plan and find a pregnant woman to pretend to be her to lure Tang Yin out, even if it meant perishing together. However, Tang Yin was so cunning and had a close relationship with Shang Xiao. If the two of them worked together, he might not have a chance of winning. Therefore, he called Jean Bo. Mr. Jean, Miss Song has taken her away. How am I supposed to deal with Tang Yin? Xiaoji has already reported this to me. Tang Yin is worried and confused. As long as you lure him, he will definitely take the bait. At this juncture, don't cause too many murders. Jean Bo was unmoved. After all, between Cheng Bin and Song Xiaoji, he naturally trusted his daughter more. But you also know that Tang Yin is very cunning. He's been a criminal police officer for so many years. It's very likely that he'll see through it. That's why we have to continue holding him in our hands. Only then will he be obedient. With that, Jean Bo hung up. Cheng Bin felt his mind explode. He was purely being used by Jean Bo. He had taken such a big risk to capture her, but in the end, Jean Bo had reaped the benefits while he had to perish together with Tang Yin. If he failed, then Feng Shanshan would still be in Jean Bo's hands. Tang Yin would still not dare to act rashly. What a good plan. However, now that things had come to this, there was no turning back for him. In any case, if he killed Tang Yin, he had no intention of leaving alive. In the afternoon, Tang Yin finally rushed back from another city. However, when he returned to the police station, the news he received almost made him break down. Tang Yin, you have to calm down, the chief said to him with some heartache. Tang Yin did not say anything. He took off his police uniform and walked out of the police station. The chief was afraid that something would happen to Tang Yin, so he immediately got someone to stop him. Tang Yin, don't do anything rash. Don't forget your identity. Tang Yin didn't care about anything else. He just pushed away the people who came to stop him. I'll kill whoever stops me today. Xiaolong had never seen Tang Yin like this before. His eyes were red, and the veins on his neck were bulging. He was so scared that he took 2 steps back. Professor Tang felt extremely uncomfortable when he saw Tang Yin like that. He walked up and said, I know that if I don't let you go, you'll definitely go crazy. But Tang Yin, I want you to remember that if there's a glimmer of hope for survival, don't choose to die. If Shan Shan and the child lose even a strand of hair, I'll make Cheng Bin die a horrible death. You're a cop, but who will pity my lover, my child? Tang Yin said sternly, then opened the door of the off-road vehicle. The chief wanted to get someone to tie him up, but Tang Yin took out a gun and pointed it at his head. Chief, don't make me crazy. Don't act rashly. All of you step back, the chief quickly shouted. Seeing this, Tang Yin put away his gun and drove away. He didn't want to be a police officer anymore, and he didn't want to be a captain anymore. Protecting the country and putting the people first were all thrown to the back of his mind. If he couldn't even protect the most important person, then what was the point of living in this world? Chase after him immediately and bring him back. The chief was heartbroken. Then the police team also set off. However, 5 minutes after Tang Yin left, the police station received an anonymous express delivery. When Xiaolong saw that it was Tang Yan's express delivery, he secretly hid in the bathroom and opened it. Then he sent the photo of Feng Shanshan being tied up to Tang Yin and the letter Cheng Bin left him. Captain Tang, you don't need to guess to know who I am. It's time for us to settle the score from back then. If you want to save your woman, tonight at 12 o'clock in the abandoned glass factory on the outskirts of the city. As long as you bring the police here, I guarantee that you'll be able to see your woman's steaming corpse. When Xiaolong sent these over, his hands were actually trembling, because he felt that he was sending Tang Yin to his death. However, that was Captain Tang's lover. That was Captain Tang's life. If he didn't do this, he felt that it would be no different from killing Captain Tang. Tang Yin raced on the road. He really wanted to grab Changbin's neck and break it, but he couldn't. After that, Tang Yin returned home because he had to prepare for his appointment that night. At that moment, there was a knock on the door. Tang Yin immediately stood up vigilantly. "Who is it?" "It's me, Su Che." Tang Yin got up and opened the door. When he saw that it was Su Che, he knew that he was Sheng Zhao's lobbyist. "I'm going to Cheng Bin's appointment tonight. President Sheng doesn't want to stop you, but he won't let you die for no reason. President Sheng has found something. If you're still willing to listen to it, come with me to Zhongteng." Tang Yin did not say anything. "President, I know you're anxious, but there's one thing you need to know. Jinbo sent a helper to Cheng Bin. In the message that Sheng Kai sent to the president, he mentioned such a person. She's a woman." At this moment, Tang Yin's expression finally showed a subtle change. "Don't blame the president for not telling you, because he's not sure either. Now that it's happened, he'll set up a trap according to your previous agreement. The other party knows that you're worried and confused, so you can do whatever you want. However, if you want to save someone, you can't rely on your fists. You have to rely on this." Su Che pointed at his head. "How about it? Are you willing to come with me to see the president now?" "Wait for me to pack up," Tang Yin said in a deep voice. "I'll give you 3 minutes. The people at the police station probably won't be at ease with you wandering around alone." Tang Yin could not deny it, especially since he still had a gun in his hand. However, he did not bring a gun because this was the soul of a police officer. He would not abandon it. He did not need such a thing to deal with Cheng Bin, so he only put a dagger on his leg. "When we reach Zhongteng, Su Che, do me a favor and help me send this back to the police station." When Su Che saw this, he shook his head. "Outsiders shouldn't touch this thing, and you shouldn't give it to them either." Tang Yin did not force him. He hid it at home. You know, quite a lot. Then, the two of them got into Su Che's car and left. Tang Yin did not drive his off-road vehicle out, because it would be too eye-catching. Soon, the two of them arrived at Zhongteng. Su Che knew that in a situation where he did not know whether Feng Shanshan was safe or not, every minute and second was torture for him. However, the more it was like this, the more it tested a man's endurance. He had once been a spy, so he must have experienced this before. A moment later, the two of them entered Sheng Zhao's office. When Sheng Zhao saw him, he heaved a sigh of relief. At least, this person had not lost his mind to the point of being hopeless. "Since you're here, let's cut the crap and sort out the key information." Chapter 851. Sheng Zhao glanced at him and moved his lips. "Who was the one who coincidentally appeared beside you during this period of time?" Tang Yin thought about it for a few seconds and closed his eyes. It seemed that he already had an idea. "That's why I sent Su Che to your house. Su Che wanted to find out what happened today. Chengbin got someone to damage Professor Tang's car. The car broke down halfway, and Chengbin's people took the opportunity to kidnap someone. At this time, the police were alerted. In addition, the little criminal police officer you sent is quite skilled. So, if this woman doesn't appear, Chengbin's plan will fail. She used such a long time to gain Feng Shanshan's trust, save Feng Shanshan on such an occasion, and brought her home. It's too easy." When he recalled that he and Feng Shanshan had gone to listen to this doctor's lecture not long ago, he felt that he might have been blind. Chengbin asked to meet me tonight. Having said that, Tang Yin took out his phone and placed it in front of Sheng Zhao. "But I don't believe that Feng Shanshan is in Chengbin's hands." Sheng Zhao glanced at the photo on his phone and answered Tang Yin. "Previously, Jinbo sent Xinyu over for Sheng Bowen's case. He said it was a gift for Sheng Kai. He's just finding an excuse to attack the Sheng family, and his real goal is to test my ability. Now, Jinbo has sent another person to assist Chengbin. His purpose is to get rid of you. I believe that. After all, in Bai Sini's case, we found a lot of suspicious points related to Jinbo. He has this reason to get rid of you, but it turns out that Jinbo must have a backup plan. Why would he hand Feng Shanshan over to Changbin just to help him take revenge? What if Changbin fails to take revenge and you don't get rid of him? Wouldn't his plan be in vain? So, Feng Shanshan should be in this woman's hands. Do you remember that he gave Feng Shanshan a headset with a GPS? At the mention of the GPS, Tang Yan's eyes lit up because the jewelry was still on Feng Shanshan's body. He had never asked her to take it off. Thinking of this, he immediately took out his phone, but the signal was not connected to Feng Shanshan's locator. His heart sank into the abyss once more. Tang Yan put down his phone and closed his eyes again to sort out his thoughts. I have to go because I can't afford to gamble. Sheng Xiao, you know that. If there was anyone in this world who could understand the torment in his heart, it was Sheng Xiao. Without Feng Shanshan and Mu Qiqi in this world, these two men were just shells without hearts and walking corpses. Of course you have to go, but not to die. Sheng Xiao looked at him firmly. Do you remember what we said? Set a trap. Tang Yan had nothing now, and he didn't care about anything. Every second that Feng Shanshan was outside was like pouring oil on his heart. What do you think? President, the police are here. Before the two of them could say a few words, Su Che entered the door and interrupted them. Take the elevator and leave. I'll call you on the way. Tang Yan nodded and immediately got up. He followed Su Che and bypassed the police. Then, old Cheng came to the door. When he saw Sheng Xiao, he was very respectful. CEO Sheng, I'm really sorry to disturb you. Has Captain Tang been here before? I'm leaving, Sheng Xiao replied as he leaned against the sofa. Then, did he say where he's going? To save someone. Sheng Xiao's answer was equivalent to not answering. CEO Sheng, we're just afraid that something will happen to Captain Tang. Sister-in-law has been taken away. We're also very worried, but impulsiveness won't solve the problem. Don't worry, he's not as weak as you think. With that, Sheng Xiao got up and returned to his desk. Actually, if he wanted to know whether Feng Shanshan was in Cheng Bin's hands or not, he only needed to trick her. Then, Sheng Xiao asked the technical department to quickly strengthen the search for the locator on Feng Shanshan's body. Today was the day of the prenatal checkup. Logically speaking, Feng Shanshan should have called Mu Qiqi after she was done. However, it was already evening, and she still hadn't received any news from Feng Shanshan. Sheng Xiao had already called Mama Sheng in the morning. He couldn't let Mu Qiqi see the news on TV or on her phone. But this was the information age. Mama Sheng tried her best to distract Mu Qiqi, but after dinner, she still said to Mama Sheng, Mommy, I want to go down and see Feng Shanshan. Didn't eighth brother say it? It's better if you don't go out. But I can't get through to Feng Shanshan's phone. Mu Qiqi was a little worried. She rarely does this. She also has a husband and a family. If something really happens, she'll definitely tell you. Don't worry. You're pregnant now, so don't let your imagination run wild. Go to sleep. Mama Sheng looked at the time. Mommy, I'll wait a little longer. Mama Sheng was helpless, so she looked at Papa Sheng. Papa Sheng had an idea and immediately took out the design drawings. Since you can't sleep now, come and take a look at the baby's toys. I plan to build a playground for my little grandson in the garden. These are my design drawings. Qiqi, take a look. When Mu Qiqi saw the drawings, her gaze was indeed attracted. Seeing this, Mama Sheng finally heaved a sigh of relief. After nightfall, Jianchuan was extremely hot. Tang Yin sneaked into the abandoned site in advance. Then, he lay on the ceiling and installed a pinhole camera. In such an empty hall, there was nothing. Other than an abandoned table, there was nowhere to hide. After observing the surroundings, Tang Yin left the abandoned site and lay beside a garbage station not far away. Tonight was the final battle between him and Cheng Bin. It should have been settled a long time ago. He only regretted not killing this group of people when he was a spy. That was why there was such a situation now. The person he loved the most was being held hostage by this group of people. Then Sheng Xiao called. I found an address near Cheng Bin's house. Give me the signal source and the address, Tang Yin said in a low voice over the phone. I can't wait any longer. If you rashly go to Cheng Bin's house, there will definitely be a trap. Do you think he doesn't know what you're thinking? Moreover, Su Che just came back from that area and heard about something. A family lost a pregnant woman and has already reported it. What did this mean? Feng Shanshan was indeed not in Changbin's hands. In order to pass off the fake as the real one, Changbin had caught someone else to replace her. If this is true, what do you plan to do with that innocent pregnant woman? Tang Yan's hands could not help but tremble. This was because he could not let innocent people sacrifice themselves because of him. Feng Shanshan was his wife and lover. If he could not escape in the end, at most, he would die for Feng Shanshan. But how could he repay the innocent people? Chapter 852. Don't say such discouraging words. Dr. Song has already been controlled for you. We'll wait for you to come back. It all depended on whether Jean Bo wanted Song Qiaoji or Feng Shanshan. Thank you. There were thousands of words, but there was nothing else. There was not much hesitation between men. They were straightforward with each other. During this time, Sheng Xiao asked Su Che to secretly check the surveillance cameras around Song Qiaoji. How did she get out? Where she was hiding now, and if it was really that difficult to find out. Moreover, the jewelry that should have appeared on Feng Shanshan's body had appeared near Changbin's house. However, the person in Changbin's hands was not Feng Shanshan. What did this mean? The things on Feng Shanshan might have been sent to Changbin in order to pass off the fake as the real one. Half an hour after you go in, I'll call the police. Whatever you want to do, settle it within that half an hour. Why didn't he call the police from the beginning? What if their judgment was wrong? Whether it was Feng Shanshan or another pregnant woman, their lives were equally important. Therefore, Sheng Xiao gave him half an hour to settle his personal grudges. Tang Yin put down his phone and sat next to the trash heap because he could observe the situation of the abandoned glass factory nearby. He could also immediately know that Changbin had brought someone over. He only hoped that the heavens would bless him and not let him be alone again. Or let him die alone and not hurt his wife and children. At 8:30 p.m., Sheng Xiao was still not home. Mu Qiqi woke up from her nap and found it strange that she did not see him. She called Sheng Xiao. Why aren't you home tonight? Sheng Xiao was in the car. When he heard the little one's voice, he immediately let go of his fierceness and said to her, Secretary, he asked me to go over. Mom said you were still sleeping, so I didn't call you. Is there something urgent? Probably, Sheng Xiao said lightly, trying his best to make his tone sound calm. All right then, come back early. When you're back, bring me to see Feng Shanshan. I haven't been able to contact her all day. I don't know what's wrong. Okay. Sheng Xiao only said one word. Then you go ahead. With that, Mu Qiqi hung up. She did not know why, but everyone was acting strangely tonight. However, no matter how strange it was, she was still pregnant and could not act rashly. Even if it was only a 10-minute distance, she promised that she would not go out. It was 10 o'clock at night. The Jinchuan branch office was still in an emergency meeting because Sheng Xiao brought news about Tang Yan. He also said that the two of them had agreed to meet at midnight. He was worried that Tang Yan would use too much force and cause both sides to suffer a loss in the end. Sheng Xiao was calmer than the director. If Tang Yan is really a reckless person, he wouldn't have endured it until now. He doesn't want others to be implicated because of him. So, director, you shouldn't worry about whether he will get into trouble or not. Instead, you should think about how to help him save people. CEO Sheng, are you so sure that Tang Yan won't kill Changbin? He wants to, but he won't because he knows that if he kills someone, then he and Feng Shanshan will have no future. Not only that, but he also has the self-awareness as a police officer. His soul won't allow him to do it. The director looked at Sheng Xiao in surprise. Why did he feel that after working with Tang Yan for so long, he did not know him as well as Sheng Xiao did? Then you should have told us this afternoon. If I had told you and pursued him relentlessly, do you think he would still be able to wait so calmly at the agreed place with Changbin? The director looked at Sheng Xiao thoughtfully, especially when he looked at Sheng Xiao's calm eyes. This man had always maintained his unchanging emotions, as if he did not know what panic was. Okay, I'll go and deploy the rescue plan now. I hope I can make it in time. Wait. Sheng Xiao took out his phone and sent the photo to the director. This is the terrain survey that Tang Yan did in advance. It's convenient for you to deploy. CEO Sheng, it's a pity that you're not a police officer. Hurry up. You still have 3 hours. Sheng Xiao looked at his watch and reported the time to the director. Once tonight's matter was resolved, it would be time for him and Tang Yin to counterattack. Can I ask why you're helping Tang Yin so much? The director did not understand. As the CEO of a well-known company, Sheng Xiao was running around for a criminal police officer. It was unbelievable. For my Qi'er, because he did not want Qi'er to worry and be sad because of Feng Shanshan. Okay, then let's stop here for today. I'll go and deploy the plan first. With that, the director quickly left the office. It was already 10 o'clock at night. Feng Shanshan had been unconscious for an entire day and finally woke up in a small bathroom. When she woke up, she found that her original clothes and jewelry were gone. The GPS that Qi'er had given her was hidden inside, but now she did not know where it was. She was very hungry and very tired. However, she did not dare to make a sound because she did not want to be sure that she had fallen into Changbin's hands. If that was the case, that man must be in great danger. However, before she could think too much, the bathroom door was suddenly pushed open. A middle-aged woman squatted in front of Feng Shanshan with hot milk in her hand. Drink it. You must be hungry too. Who are you? Where's this? Auntie, can you? Miss, since you're pregnant here, don't resist. This is good for you and the child. What do you think? The middle-aged woman's words were cold and ruthless. She brought the milk to Feng Shanshan's mouth and poured it down her throat. Can I drink it myself? No, I'm afraid you'll hurt yourself. With that, the middle-aged woman continued to pour it down her throat until the cup was empty. Have a good rest tonight. With that, the woman got up and closed the bathroom door, not giving Feng Shanshan any time to ask any more questions. Feng Shanshan observed the bathroom carefully. She smelled something. She had smelled it at Song Qiaoji's house in the morning. It seemed to be the fragrance of gardenias. Did this mean that she was still in that apartment? Thinking of this, Feng Shanshan was a little excited, but soon she was discouraged. In this season, there were gardenias everywhere, and they might not be in the original area. What would happen outside tonight? That man, was he crazy with anxiety? If it was Changbin, Feng Shanshan did not dare to think too much about it, because he was here for revenge. Tang Yin would definitely be tortured by him. However, she was locked up here. What could Changbin use to threaten Tang Yin? Thinking of this, she had more questions in her heart, but there were no answers. She had never thought that she would experience a real kidnapping. Feng Shanshan thought to herself, when danger really comes, who would she rather be alive? Chapter 853. At 11:30 p.m., a silver pickup truck drove in from the night and stopped outside the glass factory. Tang Yin lay on the ground and watched as Changbin dragged a big box and unloaded it from the car. With the help of 2 people, he entered the glass factory. If he guessed correctly, the box contained the innocent pregnant woman. Changbin had chosen such a place to prevent Tang Yin from playing tricks in such a complicated environment. The surroundings were empty and there was nothing. He did not believe that Tang Yin could still play any tricks like this. Tie her to the chair. Changbin instructed his 2 subordinates. The pregnant woman was wearing Feng Shanshan's clothes and jewelry. Her figure was similar to Feng Shanshan's, and she was covered with a black cloth. He did not believe that Tang Yin would still be able to recognize her. The pregnant woman was unconscious and had inhaled a small amount of drugs. When Tang Yin arrives, stand at the door and keep watch. If there's any movement, give me the signal immediately. Got it, Brother Chung. Changbin tied bombs to himself and the pregnant woman. Whoever dared to approach would turn everyone into meat paste. Time was ticking away. The people from the branch office had also appeared in the wasteland a few kilometers away from the abandoned factory with a police force. The police in charge of investigation had already quietly gone over. The main force would move according to the tip-off from their colleagues in front and narrow the range. The chief was personally in charge, afraid that Tang Yin would do something stupid. In contrast, Sheng Xiao was much calmer. There was no trace of panic on his sharp face. It was as if he could stabilize the situation better than the chief. Time slowly passed until 12 o'clock. Tang Yin got up from the side of the garbage and approached the glass factory without saying a word. Brother Chung, he's here. Chung Bin's subordinate reminded him. He came alone? There's no trace of the police? Indeed not. He didn't even drive a car, the subordinate replied. Let him in. Chung Bin could not wait any longer. He stood behind the pregnant woman with a homemade weapon in his hand. When he saw Tang Yin enter, he was extremely excited. Tang Yin was alone and did not bring anything with him. His body had also been searched by the two subordinates. Other than a dagger, he did not even bring a gun. A criminal police officer did not bring a gun. I'm here. Tang Yin walked to a place 4 meters away from Chung Bin and stopped. What do you want for you to let her go? Release him? Chung Bin laughed. Tang Yin, as a police officer, you shouldn't be so whimsical. Wouldn't it be nice for you and your beloved woman to die together as a family of 3? Let her go, and I can let you do whatever you want. Do you think you still have the right to negotiate with me? Chung Bin shouted. Tie him up. Tang Yin had been observing the pregnant woman. From this, he could conclude that it was indeed not a Shan Shan. It was just an innocent and pitiful victim. The two men moved quickly. They quickly took out the rope they carried and tied Tang Yin up. Tang Yin was pushed to the ground. He lay on the ground without any signs of resistance. You've gotten what you wanted. Can you let this innocent pregnant woman go now? Chung Bin was stunned for a moment, and his expression changed slightly. Tang Yin, this is your woman. Don't try to play tricks with me. If she wasn't your woman, would you be willing to be helped here by me? Beat him up. The two subordinates pounced on him almost at the same time and kicked Tang Yin's back and lower abdomen. After about 3 minutes, Chung Bin let go when he saw Tang Yin vomiting blood. Don't beat him to death. I haven't let him feel the torture I've suffered over the past few years. Tang Yin curled up on the ground in a sorry state. His mouth and eyes were full of blood. Now, can you let that innocent pregnant woman go? Chung Bin was surprised. Seeing that Tang Yin was willing to be beaten, he almost laughed out of anger. How do you know that she's not your woman? Shan Shan doesn't have such a big shoe size. Chung Bin looked at the woman's feet and immediately deflated. He nodded. It seems that our Captain Tang is really in love. He knows his woman very well. Since you've already recognized her, I'm not afraid to tell you that she's indeed not your woman. With that, Chung Bin removed the woman's hood. She's an innocent woman. I captured her because of you. Do you want to know where your woman is? Chung Bin squatted on the ground and looked at Tang Yin. She's in a dark place, covered in blood. All right, she even had a miscarriage. Did you know that? Blood flowed all over the ground. I've never seen such a tragic scene. Shut up, Tang Yin shouted sternly. Shut him up. Chung Bin took the opportunity to grab Tang Yan's collar and fiercely pull him in front of him. So many brothers have gone to prison because of you. Their families have all been ruined. Their wives are sick and dead. Your woman's current state is considered light. After hearing Chung Bin's words, Tang Yin suddenly laughed. A criminal is a criminal, and trash is trash. Even sophistry can be so shameless. Because of your so-called brothers, who sell drugs and commit all kinds of crimes, how many families in this world have been broken up and their families separated? You're talking to me about justice. Chung Bin was suddenly enraged. He punched Tang Yan's face again and again to vent the hatred in his heart. They're all our brothers. They're brothers with you, but they're enemies with me. A police officer is a police officer, and a bandit is a bandit. Tang Yin answered firmly. Chung Bin could not tame Tang Yin, so he stood up in exasperation. Then, he slowly revealed a meaningful smile. Didn't you say that a police officer is a police officer and a bandit is a bandit? All right, then I'll let you, a police officer, kill the pregnant woman in front of you with your own hands. Let's see how many tough bones you still have. After hearing Chung Bin's words, Tang Yin suddenly laughed, even though he was covered in injuries. Looking at you like this, I'm even more certain that my woman is intact because you're just a pawn of Jinbo. You don't have the right to control my woman. As long as she's not in your hands, what do I have to fear? I killed a pregnant woman because you threatened me. The law will give me a lighter punishment, but you will die a graveless death. Who do you think will be able to leave alive today? Chung Bin suddenly sneered. You, and I should all be buried with our dead brothers. On the other side, the chief was very anxious. How's the situation inside? Chung Bin is very agitated. Captain Tang's situation isn't good. If he gets beaten again, I'm afraid he won't be able to take it. He can take it, Sheng Xiao told the chief with certainty. He told me that he'll wait for me for half an hour. Chapter 854. Director, when can we break through? Sniper, is the sniper in position? The director was very anxious, but no matter how anxious he was, he had to wait for the right time. Now was not the best time to save people. The sniper is looking for the best sniping position. This Tang Yin, you must hold on. The director was so excited that he almost jumped up. This was his beloved general. It was now 12:20 p.m. Mu Chi waited for him for most of the night, but he did not come home. Downstairs, Mama Sheng was still watching TV. She was usually asleep, but today she was still eating melon seeds downstairs. This made Mu Chi even more certain that something must have happened. Chi, why are you up? Mama Sheng turned around and looked at her. She immediately gave her a blanket. Mommy, just tell me what happened, okay? Mu Chi asked Mama Sheng directly. Master Xiao never came home so late. Even if secretary he was looking for him, he would not let him go so late. Moreover, she couldn't get through to Feng Shanshan, which made her even more confused. Mama Sheng knew that she was smart and could not hide it anymore. So, she helped her sit on the sofa and said, I can tell you, but you must promise me that you must face it rationally. Mommy, don't think of me as so weak. Mama Sheng deliberated for a moment and said slowly, I'm not afraid that you're weak. I'm just afraid that you'll be worried that Feng Shanshan is missing. After hearing the last 6 words, Mu Chi felt a chill spread from her heart to her limbs. 8th brother and the police are still rescuing people. Stay at home and don't distract him. You know 8th brother doesn't like to meddle in other people's business. I know. He did it for me. Mu Chi nodded. To prevent her from worrying, to prevent her imagination from running wild, and to prevent her from losing her friends, Sheng Xiao had to get involved in these cases. Don't worry, I won't run out without permission, but I definitely can't fall asleep. Mommy, don't worry about me. I'll wait for him in the living room. I'll stay with you. Mama Sheng smiled at her. At this time, she needed her family to care for her. Thinking of the missing Feng Shanshan, Mu Chi felt sad. Mommy, it's so good to have you. The time was 12:29 p.m. Chung Bin asked 2 subordinates to help Tang Yin up and return the dagger to him. Of course, Tang Yin was unwilling to do it, but Chung Bin pointed the gun at the pregnant woman's head. If you don't do it, I'll do it. You make your choice. I'll give you 10 seconds. Tang Yin, you have to be clear. If I make a move, there will be a few holes in the pregnant woman's head. I can't guarantee that. I might also shoot through her stomach. Tang Yin stood shakily in front of the pregnant woman. His hands were untied, and the blood on his body was dripping down along the dagger. The ground gradually turned red. 10-9-8. As time passed, Chung Bin loaded the gun in his hand. Tang Yin tried his best to open his swollen eyes. Then, he said hoarsely, Let me. If you admitted defeat earlier, you wouldn't have wasted so much time. Chung Bin put down his gun and gestured with his chin. Tang Yin's feet were tied, and he could not move at all. Chung Bin wanted to see Tang Yin kill someone with his own hands. He wanted to see the police kill someone. However, there were only a few seconds left before the half an hour that Tang Yin had mentioned. Tang Yin closed his eyes and finally raised the dagger at the pregnant woman. However, just as the tip of the dagger was about to fall, he lost his balance and fell to the ground. Don't play tricks on me. Chung Bin kicked Tang Yin again. Tang Yin took the opportunity to pick up the dagger. He raised his hand and cut Chung Bin's right Achilles tendon. Chung Bin screamed and covered his foot as he howled loudly. Perhaps he had received a signal, but the sniper immediately saw the opportunity. Through the broken glass window, he aimed at Chung Bin's head and blew it up. When Chung Bin's 2 subordinates saw this, their legs immediately turned to jelly. They panicked and ran away. However, the police had already taken control of the surroundings. When Chung Bin was torturing Tang Yin, he was not vigilant of his surroundings. Neither of his 2 subordinates ran away. Tang Yin was lying on the ground, covered in blood. However, he still used a black hood to cover Chung Bin's appearance after he died. He did not want this innocent pregnant woman to be traumatized. Then, the people from the police station rushed in. After confirming that Chung Bin was dead, they carefully removed the bomb and destroyed it. Old Chung and Officer Long immediately went forward to save him. "Captain Tang, are you all right?" He was covered in blood. "How could he be fine?" "Tang Yen?" The chief's expression was also full of concern. "I can still hold on." After Tang Yen said this, he fainted. However, he said it while looking at the chief and Shang Xiao. "What are you waiting for? Hurry up and send him to the hospital." The chief immediately ordered Old Chung when he saw that he had fainted. Seeing this, the chief sighed. "At least there's no big trouble. CEO Sheng, you know Tang Yen. It's too late today. CEO Sheng, go home and rest. Tang Yen, don't worry. I'll make the arrangements. This is my left arm. Can I break it myself?" Seeing the blood on the ground, Sheng Xiao returned to the car. He rubbed the space between his eyebrows and instructed Su Che, "Drive. Let's go home. Young madam already knows." Sheng Xiao did not say anything. He just took a deep breath. Even if he went home now, he would have an explanation. At 1 o'clock in the morning, Sheng Xiao finally returned home. When he saw Mu Chi-Chi lying on the sofa, he quietly took off his coat and hung it on the hanger. When Mu Chi-Chi woke up and saw Sheng Xiao, she immediately propped herself up. "How is it?" Sheng Xiao did not answer. He unbuttoned his shirt, sat on the sofa, and pulled Mu Chi-Chi into his arms. "Chung Bin is dead." "Then, Captain Tang, in the hospital," Sheng Xiao answered. "Everything is under control. Don't worry." "Then Feng Shanshan, is there still no news?" "We also have something on her, so you just need to stay at home and wait for the news." Sheng Xiao held her shoulder and comforted her. "It's 1 o'clock. If you don't sleep, the baby needs to sleep too. You've been tired all day. I'll go get you a bath." "No need. I'll take a shower. You go back to your room first." Mu Chi-Chi knew that even if she had big questions, she could not ask too much, so she obediently returned to her room. Sheng Xiao followed her back to her room and saw her lying on the bed with her eyes closed. After washing up, he lay beside her. Mu Chi-Chi did not sleep well, so Sheng Xiao hugged her tightly and whispered in her ear, "It's okay. Don't be afraid." Chung Bin was dead. This meant that Tang Yan's predicament had been resolved. Next. Chapter 855. After Tang Yin was sent to the hospital, the doctor immediately examined him. 2 of his ribs were broken, and his spleen was ruptured and bleeding. There were also countless injuries on his body. The doctor immediately performed the surgery. Outside the operating theater, Old Chung was guarding the door. It was not convenient for him to inform Professor Tang and his wife now. Most importantly, Feng Shanshan's whereabouts were still unknown. Old Chung sat on the bench and sighed. They did not know that Tang Yin had been a spy. Just now, when she heard the chief mention it, she knew that Tang Yin had such an experience and made such a contribution. This Qing Bin was here for revenge. "Boss, please don't let anything happen to you. I was angry at you for being coward. I really didn't know that you actually worked so hard as a spy." Captain Tang keeps things to himself and never says anything. He looks cold on the surface, but he's actually more loyal than anyone else. He must have sensed the danger in by Cindy's case, so he didn't let us investigate further. You have to trust his judgment. Xiaolong patted Old Cheng's shoulder to comfort him. "Yes, now I just want to save sister-in-law." "Don't worry, sister-in-law will be fine." Xiaolong patted Old Cheng on the shoulder. 2 hours later, Tang Yan's surgery was over, and he was sent back to the general ward. However, half an hour after the anesthesia wore off, Tang Yin woke up and wanted to get out of bed. "Boss, do you want to die?" Old Cheng had only gone to fetch water. When he came back, he saw Tang Yin getting up, so he quickly went forward to help him. "I still have to save Shan Shan," Tang Yin said with a pale face. "Sister-in-law is fine. You're the one who's in trouble now." Old Cheng held him down. "If anything happens to you, what will happen to sister-in-law? I know you're worried, but at least you can rest for the night." Even Iron Man would not be able to get out of bed immediately after the surgery, right? "Tang, Yin did not say anything. He just covered his wound. Although Chung Bin was dead, Shan Shan was still in Jinbo's hands. When President Sheng left, he asked me to tell you not to act rashly tonight. Tomorrow, he will give you an explanation. Perhaps he was afraid that Tang Yin would do that. Tang Yin did not move, nor did he say a word. Aren't you going to listen to Chief Sheng? Don't you believe him? Of course he believed it, but his heart was similarly tormented. Boss, be obedient. The director has aged 10 years because of you. Tang Yin clutched his chest. Finally, he sighed and admitted defeat. Chung Bin was executed on the spot. Jinbo only received the news before dawn. He knew that if Feng Shanshan was handed over to Chung Bin, she might have already been rescued. Fortunately, his daughter was reliable. So, Jinbo immediately called Song Xiaoji. Daughter, is Feng Shanshan okay? Don't worry, Dad. She's in my hands. Song Xiaoji replied. She was still in the hospital. Although she had drugged herself, it was a little heavy, so she decided to rest in the hospital. That's good. Chung Bin is dead. He can't do anything right. Keep an eye on him. If Tang Yin dares to act recklessly, let his family be destroyed. I know. In 2 days, your brother will be back. At that time, the whole family will have a meal. All right. From the beginning to the end, Song Xiaoji appeared very calm because she and her so-called father were not as close as she had imagined. Then, the two of them hung up the phone. At that moment, a figure flashed into the ward and quickly placed a dagger on Song Xiaoji's neck. I'm afraid you won't be able to have a meal. Miss Song, come with me. Song Xiaoji knew that she could not see the person's face clearly, so she was taken away from the hospital. She wanted to ask for help, but the hospital seemed to have been bribed by that person and did not give her a chance to see him. Then, Song Xiaoji was brought back to her home and tied to a chair. Who are you? Song Xiaoji's head was covered as she asked the agile man. You don't have to be afraid. At most, you'll be treated the same as Feng Shanshan tonight. You'll be treated the same way she was treated. I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't kidnap Feng Shanshan. Song Xiaoji immediately resisted. I'm also a victim. Besides, I saved her yesterday. You don't have to tell me this. Someone will come looking for trouble with you tomorrow morning. With that, the man lay down on the sofa and copied Song Xiaoji's phone number. What the hell are you doing? Don't touch my things. I'm just a weak woman. Don't go too far. The man was unmoved. After copying the number, he threw the phone in front of her. You're not a woman. You're a poisonous snake. Then, Song Xiaoji fell into panic. The next morning, Song Xiaoji woke up and found herself on a reef in the sea. Beneath her feet was an abyss. She was still tied up, and if she moved slightly, she could fall to her death in the pile of rocks. Dr. Song, is there anything you want to tell me? Not far away, Tang Yin covered his wound and sat next to her. For example, tell me, where's my wife now? I don't know what you're talking about. Tang Yin, you're a police officer. How can you break the law? It doesn't matter if you don't tell me. There will always be someone willing to tell me. With that, Tang Yin dialed the number that Song Xiaoji had called last night. Hello? Jinbo still did not know that Song Xiaoji had been arrested. Mr. Jin, right? Jinbo's body trembled, and he immediately sat down. Who are you? Song Xiaoji is in my hands. Do you want Song Xiaoji or Feng Shanshan? You can make a choice immediately. You also know that as police officers, we also have a set of methods to extort confessions. If she accidentally says more in front of me, I can't guarantee that I won't leak it out for you. If you want to destroy my family, I'll also make you unable to live in peace. Jinbo reacted for a moment and knew the other party's identity. You're Tang Yin. I've already resigned from my position as a police officer. I just want to play a game with you. Do you want to continue holding Feng Shanshan hostage, or do you want your daughter? The corners of Jinbo's mouth trembled a little, but he steeled his heart and said, If you have the ability, kill her. I have many daughters, and she's not missing. Besides, you won't be able to get anything out of her. Tang Yin, you're just wasting your energy. Of course, I'm willing to keep Feng Shanshan. This way, you won't dare to act rashly. All right then. It looks like you've chosen not to have your daughter. With that, Tang Yin grabbed Song Xiaoji's hand and pushed her down the rock. Song Xiaoji screamed, "No!" Chapter 856. Therefore, Song Xiaoji's entire body was suspended in midair. Of course, she was afraid. She was afraid of death. "Tang Yin, pull me up. I'll tell you where Feng Shanshan is hidden." "I hid her." "No one knows, not even my father," Song Xiaoji shouted in the air. "I don't believe you. Tell me the address of the hidden person first." Tang Yin lowered her a little more. Song Xiaoji couldn't take it anymore and was about to answer Tang Yin. Tang Yin took the opportunity to turn off his phone. He wanted to make Jinbo, who was on the other end of the line, anxious. "She's locked up upstairs." Really, after Tang Yin heard this, he immediately called Su Che. After Su Che heard this, he went out to save her. "Pull me up first. Don't count on it until you find her." Tang Yin coldly rejected her request. A heartless, cold-blooded female killer shouldn't be afraid of this height, because you know very well that she won't die, but it will definitely be very painful. Her bones will be fractured, and she might even be disabled from now on. "Tang Yin, you're not a man." If he couldn't even protect his wife and child, of course he wasn't a man. Tang Yin sneered. He had suffered such a serious injury yesterday. Didn't he have to run around to save his wife and child's life today? Half an hour later, Su Che arrived at Song Xiaoji's apartment and immediately went upstairs to search. However, there was no one in the room. However, Su Che found that Feng Shanshan had indeed been locked up here. Therefore, he immediately called Tang Yin back. "She's been moved." Hearing these words, Tang Yin put down another piece of rope. "She's been moved. That's impossible. I hid her." "No one knows," Song Xiaoji shouted. Tang Yin didn't want to waste his breath with her, so he pressed the remaining rope onto the rock. "If you can hold on until someone comes to save you, you'll be lucky." After saying that, Tang Yin was about to leave, but Song Xiaoji shouted again, "Trust me, I can find that woman. She's not Jinbo's person. She's not. I invited her from outside." After receiving this news, Tang Yin only thought of one possibility. Feng Shanshan might have been secretly transferred by that woman, and the purpose. When he thought of this, Tang Yin's heart tightened again, but he also relaxed a little. This was because she was not in Jinbo's hands, so her life was temporarily not in danger. However, what he was worried about was that Feng Shanshan might have been sold. Then, he pulled Song Xiaoji up and told her very seriously, "You can escape or choose to cooperate. I thought that the police were all righteous and wouldn't do such a thing." Song Xiaoji was a little surprised. "According to my temper back then, I would have strangled you to death, tied you to a rock, and thrown you into the sea. That's because the person you kidnapped is my lover. I'm already being extremely polite to you." Tang Yan's expression was cold, and his eyes were abnormally cold. This caused Song Xiaoji's body to tremble, and he took 2 steps back in fear, because she believed that Tang Yin could really kill for Feng Shanshan. "But you should also thank me. If I didn't take Feng Shanshan away and hide her, would you have been so easy to deal with Qingbin?" After hearing this, Tang Yin frowned slightly. He did not understand. "Go find him. I promise you." At this moment, the hospital was in a complete mess. When old Chung came to deliver food this morning, he found that Tang Yin had already disappeared. He could not be found anywhere, and he did not bring any identification or other things. If Tang Yin had faced Chung Bin as a police officer yesterday, then today he only wanted to be a husband and do what a man and a father should do. If he could not find Feng Shanshan, he did not want to return to the police force because he felt that his life had lost its meaning. For this reason, old Chung went to Zhongting to look for Sheng Xiao. However, Sheng Xiao only gave him one sentence. "Give him some time, then he won't." Old Chung was afraid that he would be impulsive and make a mistake. After all, which man would not go crazy when he encountered such a thing? That's also his choice. Old Chung thought about it carefully. If it were him, he might not be able to do better, so he gave up. Understand. At this moment, Song Xiaoji brought Tang Yin to a housekeeping company near the apartment. "How dare you kidnap someone so brazenly?" Song Xiaoji did not answer him. She only found the woman's information from the housekeeping company and handed it to Tang Yin. It's this woman. Tang Yin struggled to support his body and fell to the ground. Song Xiaoji immediately wanted to help him up. How are you? You can run away now. Song Xiaoji shook her head. My identity has been exposed. Where else can I run to? Whether it's you or Dad, I can't explain it to them. I'll find Feng Shanshan first, and then you'll think of a way to trick her away. You'd better use all your connections to find her one step ahead of time. Otherwise, when my dad gets his hands on her, you won't be able to get anything. Tang Yin closed his eyes and calmed himself down. Then, he sent the woman's information to Old Cheng and Sheng Xiao. Help me find her. Shanshan is in her hands. Since she was not in Jinbo's hands, wouldn't it be much easier? The police station and Sheng Xiao began to work. I suddenly don't understand you. Tang Yin sat on the ground and looked at Song Xiaoji. You don't need to understand. Don't touch Bai Sini's case anymore. Someone from above will take over this case. Protect your wife and child well. You, Tang Yin, was a little surprised, but it was only for a moment before he hid his emotions. Song Xiaoji seized the opportunity to grab the ashtray on the housekeeping company's desk and smash it at Tang Yin's head. Then, she took the opportunity to escape. Sir, are you okay? Sir? The housekeeping company's staff had only gone to make tea. When they came back and saw this scene, they were shocked. Tang Yin covered his head and stood up. He couldn't care less about anything else now. Finding the person was more important. Tang Yin did not know how he spent the whole day and night. The police had found a lot of clues, but they did not find the person. But at least this could prove that the person had been taken away by the middle-aged woman and not Jinbo's men. As for Song Xiaoji, Tang Yin did not know if her words could be trusted or if they were good or bad. Dragging his heavily injured body, Tang Yin fainted on the street after taking 2 steps. When passers-by saw him, they immediately called the ambulance, and he was sent back to the hospital. When he woke up again, it was already afternoon. When Old Cheng saw that Tang Yin had woken up, he quickly said, Boss, did you have a nightmare? Don't worry. Everyone is doing their best to find sister-in-law. We'll definitely find her. Don't sneak out again. When sister-in-law finds out, she'll definitely be very sad. Tang Yin sat on the hospital bed in a daze. He had never felt this way in so many years. I'm afraid. Chapter 857. Old Cheng could not take it anymore, so he swore, We will definitely find sister-in-law. We will. Tang Yin could not speak, and Old Cheng could not take it anymore. He was afraid that something would happen to Tang Yin again, so he immediately went to find a doctor. However, he had only gone out for 2 minutes. When he came back, Tang Yin was gone again. No one could protect a person who was about to go crazy. Sheng Zhao's network went down and found some clues. The middle-aged woman who had taken Feng Shanshan away should have a gang, and they were moving between each other. Feng Shanshan was not an obedient and docile person. If she was sober, she would definitely think of a way to contact someone close to her or the police. However, the bad thing was that she was afraid that the other party would give her medicine. Adults could endure the torture, but what about the child in her womb? After an entire day of investigation, the police locked onto the suspect and the suspect's car. In the end, they found that the car with Feng Shanshan was speeding towards J City. That place was a mess, and Jinbo had many eyes and ears. If Feng Shanshan was really taken there, the consequences would be unimaginable. Sheng Xiao had promised Xiao Qi that he would give Tang Yin an explanation. Therefore, after receiving the news, he immediately asked Su Che to take action. Don't drive. I know your motorcycle skills are very good. Take a shortcut and intercept them. You know the license plate number. After Tang Yin came out of the hospital, he immediately called Xiao Long to confirm the current progress. Although Xiao Long knew that he should not tell him, he still could not resist his interrogation, so he told him the license plate number and the direction in which Feng Shanshan was being sent. Tang Yin did not say anything. He went straight home. Enduring his injuries, he rode his motorcycle and chased after Su Che. Along the way, he thought like crazy that if that group of people dared to do anything to Feng Shanshan, he would not care about the consequences and make them die without a complete corpse. Time passed minute by minute, and the effects of the medicine on Feng Shanshan's body gradually faded. However, when she opened her eyes, other than the middle-aged woman who was looking at her, there's also a middle-aged man and a young man who was driving. You? Where are you going? There's no room for you to ask. Rest. The middle-aged woman was still very stubborn. Are you short of money? As long as you send me back, my husband will give you a lot of money. We don't lack money, we lack women. The middle-aged man replied with a chuckle. Feng Shanshan lay in the car and did not dare to move. After all, she had not eaten anything since yesterday. Now, her entire body was weak and did not have the slightest bit of strength. It seemed that she couldn't do anything to these three people now. But she missed Tang Yan. She didn't know how he was and whether he was still alive. Chunbin was so crazy. If something happened to Tang Yan, what would happen to her and the baby in the future? Thinking of this, Feng Shanshan could not help but feel sad, and tears flowed from the corner of her eyes. Perhaps seeing that she was sad, the middle-aged woman immediately said, "It's useless to cry. When you get there, serve your new man well. In the future, he will make you comfortable." Feng Shanshan could not move and could only cry, because she knew what it meant. The truck was still moving forward. It was getting further and further away from Tang Yan. What should she do? What did she do? Along the way, Su Che ran at full speed, not daring to slack off at all. In only 2 hours, he arrived at the exit of the highway ahead of time and waited at the toll booth. Then, he took out a photo and the license plate number and said to everyone at the toll booth, "If you see this car, please stop it. My pregnant sister has been kidnapped. Please pay attention." The police are also chasing after her. After the toll collectors at the toll booth saw this, they silently remembered it in their hearts. About an hour later, the truck with the 2 license plates drove into the toll booth. The toll collector immediately informed his colleagues. However, they did not know what was going on. They were more afraid that Su Che was the bad guy, so after some discussion, they stopped the car for inspection. Perhaps he realized that something was wrong, so the man driving the car wanted to break through the barrier and run away. However, before he could change gears and speed up, his body was pulled out of the window by a strong force. Then, the toll collector immediately helped and controlled the car. "What are you doing? You're scaring my pregnant wife." The middle-aged woman immediately blocked Feng Shanshan, but Feng Shanshan pushed her away with difficulty. I don't know them." After Su Che dealt with the young man, he went to the front of the car and saw Feng Shanshan lying in the back. He immediately felt relieved. When she saw Su Che, Feng Shanshan's tears immediately came out. At this moment, Tang Yan's car also arrived at the toll booth. He did not even stop the car and jumped off the motorcycle. He walked forward and saw Feng Shanshan lying in the car safely. Then he grabbed the middle-aged man and the woman in the car, threw them on the ground, and beat them up. "Enough!" Su Che stopped Tang Yan. "They are ordinary people. They can't withstand your fists. If they die, how are you going to take responsibility?" Tang Yan's fist was covered in blood. He punched the road, and the bones of his knuckles were exposed. Just wait to go to jail. If it weren't for the fact that he had to take care of Feng Shanshan, he would have torn these people into pieces. However, his only trace of rationality pulled at him. So, he stumbled to his feet, but after taking 2 steps, he fell in front of the car. "Captain Tang? Captain Tang?" Feng Shanshan heard it and was very anxious. Tears flowed out uncontrollably. Why were there so many injuries on his body? Soon, the ambulance and police car arrived. After understanding the situation, the 3 human traffickers were brought back to the police station, while Tang Yan and Feng Shanshan were sent to the nearest hospital. Su Che stood guard outside the operating theater with his arms crossed. He had not let Sheng Xiao down. He had finally brought them back. However, looking at Tang Yan's crazy look, Su Che could not help but sigh. If something like this happened to Mu Chi-Chi, Sheng Xiao would probably drop an atomic bomb on Jianchuan. Feng Shanshan had not inhaled much of the drug. Fortunately, it did not hurt the child in her stomach. However, Tang Yan's condition was much more serious. He had a fracture and a spleen rupture. He had to undergo a second surgery, and he was bleeding profusely. If Feng Shanshan did not find him, he might die. Soon, Sheng Xiao received news that the person had finally been found and was safe. However, if he was placed in a remote hospital, it was inevitable that Jin Bo's people would not target him. Therefore, Sheng Xiao sent 10 bodyguards over. In addition to the people from the police station, even if Jin Bo had the intention, it was impossible for him to take advantage of the situation. Mu Chi-Chi, who was at home, finally heaved a sigh of relief. Chapter 858. In the evening, J City was still shrouded in the setting sun. Feng Shanshan woke up and forced herself to sit up. Old Chung was guarding the door. When he heard the noise, he quickly turned around. Shanshan, you're finally awake. It's fine. Everything's fine. You and the child are fine. It's just that you didn't eat much, so your body is weak. Old Chung quickly said, I'll go heat up some food for you. Eat some first. Where's Tang Yen? Old Cheng's expression froze when he heard Feng Shanshan ask about Tang Yen. Captain is still in the operating theater. He's been in there for more than 2 hours. When Feng Shanshan heard this, she struggled to get out of bed, but she was stopped by Old Chung. Shanshan, so many people went through so much trouble to save you, not to let you ruin yourself like this. Do you know? Last night, Captain Tang almost lost his life. He was so seriously injured. He got out of bed after the surgery just to find you. Feng Shanshan was stunned. I'm sorry. You don't have to say sorry. Captain Tang almost went crazy. We all have to thank you for being safe and sound. At this point, Old Cheng's eyes turned red. I've never seen Captain Tang lose control like that. Do you know? In the afternoon, he almost beat the 3 people who kidnapped you to death. In the past, I always thought that Captain Tang was a cold person and that women who followed him wouldn't be happy. But after watching Captain Tang for the past 2 days, I think you're worth it. I'll go heat up the food for you. Rest well first. When Captain Tang comes out, I'll tell you. Feng Shanshan didn't move. She paused and asked Old Chung, does Chi-Chi know? How can I not know? President Sheng was involved the whole time. Isn't this all because of Chi-Chi? Then, can you lend me your phone? I'll tell them that I'm safe. That's right. After saying that, Old Chung took out his phone to unlock it and found Mu Chi-Chi's phone number. Chi-Chi is sick. Comfort her. Feng Shanshan nodded and dialed the number. Perhaps she knew that there was news, so Mu Chi-Chi picked up almost instantly. Senior Brother Chung, it's me. Feng Shanshan's eyes were red and her throat was burning. Chi-Chi, you damned woman, where have you been? Who are you trying to make? Mu Chi-Chi scolded her. Do you want to drive everyone crazy? Mu Chi-Chi scolded her. Do you want to drive everyone crazy? Sorry my ass. Mu Chi-Chi couldn't help but curse. We'll settle the score when you come back. You should rest first. Okay. Feng Shanshan answered with a sobbing tone. The two of them did not say much because they could not explain everything in a few words. Right now, Feng Shanshan was most worried about Tang Yen. Soon, Senior Brother Chung entered the ward with a bowl of porridge and handed it to her. This is the first time I've taken care of a woman. Please make do with it. Feng Shanshan had no appetite now, but in order not to worry others, she still obediently ate a big bowl. Captain Tang is out of danger. He can come out of the operating room in 10 minutes. So, you can rest assured, right? Feng Shanshan nodded while crying, although she could not help but want to go to Tang Yan's side. Meanwhile, Su Che returned to Jianchuan to report to Sheng Xiao. You've worked hard. We've saved him, but the conflict with Jin Bo in the future is inevitable, Su Che answered. Sheng Xiao handed the information that his secretary had sent him in the afternoon to Su Che. Didn't I ask you to investigate his relationship with the Song family? Now, he's moved all his educational institutions and financial companies to Jianchuan. He wants to compete with you, President. Su Che took it and started reading. We'll talk about this in the future. Keep an eye on Tang Yen. You've worked hard during this period of time. Get off work early today. Sheng Xiao picked up his coat and planned to go home. Okay. Su Che was stunned for a moment, but he still nodded. This was because being by Shang Zhao's side made him busy. Now that he was free, he suddenly did not know what to do. After all, He was a person who had nothing to worry about. Thinking of this, Suche rode his bike to J City. It was better to help watch over him tonight. At 7 o'clock in the evening, Tang Yin finally got off the operating table and was sent to the general ward. However, the doctor gave him a death order. You must stay in bed for half a month. Otherwise, don't even think about keeping your life. The current Tang Yin was even more spectacular than in the morning. He was almost wrapped in gauze like a mummy. Feng Shanshan was finally able to enter his ward. Old Chung borrowed a wheelchair and pushed her to Tang Yan's bedside. Seeing that there was not a single part of this man's body that was unharmed, Feng Shanshan held Tang Yan's face with both hands and buried her head in tears. When old Chung saw this, he quietly left the ward and considerately closed the door. Perhaps it was because he had been worried about her, so Tang Yan opened his eyes and saw Feng Shanshan in front of him. He opened his mouth, but he could not say anything. His voice was as hoarse as sandpaper rubbing against a stone. When Feng Shanshan saw him open his eyes, she could not help but cry out. How could you do this? How could you be so injured? It's good that you're fine. Tang Yin moistened his throat and squeezed out these words with difficulty. Are you stupid? Who asked you to work so hard? I don't need it, you know. Seeing you like this, I'd rather be the one hurt. Nonsense. Tang Yin immediately stopped her. How can a man let his woman get hurt? Besides, you're still pregnant with my child. How can I let you get hurt? Do you know that I wish I could? I know everything. You fool, I know everything. Feng Shanshan lay on Tang Yan's chest and cried bitterly. What should I do if something happens to you? Have you ever thought about it? Tang Yin did not say anything and let her cry because he knew that she had been worried and wrong for the past 2 days. Now, if she cried, she would be able to vent all the negative emotions in her heart. I don't know anything because I only know that without you by my side, I'd rather die. Shanshan, it wasn't until the moment you disappeared that I deeply understood how important you are to me. Don't leave me in the future, okay? I can't take this kind of loss anymore. Feng Shanshan lay on Tang Yan's chest and kept nodding. Tears welled up in her eyes. I won't leave you again, even if I die. Tang Yan wanted to get up and kiss Feng Shanshan's forehead, but he pulled at his wound. Seeing this, Feng Shanshan could not help but laugh angrily. Who told you to move around? After saying that, she leaned over and kissed Tang Yan's dry lips. I'll be by your side forever. We won't be separated. Chapter 859. Soon, the police reported Chung Bin's case. However, Chung Bin had been executed and Song Xiaoji had failed a hold on a Feng Shanshan. Jinbo was furious and began to suspect if Sheng Kai had contacted Sheng Xiao. After all, the night before the incident, Jinbo and Chung Bin had spoken on the phone. If this mission failed, it meant that someone had leaked information to Sheng Xiao. This person was none other than Sheng Kai. Song Xiaoji took advantage of Tang Yan's injury to escape home. Jinbo could not blame her. Even if she was wild, she was still his daughter. Being hung on a cliff by Tang Yan, she would definitely be afraid. Moreover, at that time, he was heartless and did not care about his daughter's life or death. Song Xiaoji did not hold a grudge against him. If he wanted to blame someone, he could only blame the person who had informed Sheng Xiao. Then, Jinbo had Sheng Kai tied up and locked in a small dark room where he could not see the light of day. He had his men interrogate him. CEO Sheng, what Mr. Jin hates the most in his life is betrayal. He trusted you so much and even handed Changrong Electronics over to you. Aren't you letting him down? Sheng Kai's hands were tied and he hung in the air. His expression was a little wooden. I don't know what you're talking about. If you hadn't tipped Sheng Xiao off, how would he have known that Miss Song was helping Chung Bin? I don't know what you're talking about. The Sheng family and I are irreconcilable. How could I help Sheng Xiao? It looks like you want to taste something even more powerful. In the dark and boundless room, Sheng Kai's screams could be heard. Mixed with the humidity of the basement, it could not help but make one's heart tremble. After Song Xiaoji's identity was exposed, of course, she could not return to the hospital to work, so she followed Jinbo to serve him. Mr. Jin, Sheng Kai still refuses to confess. He insists that he doesn't know anything. The interrogator tortured Sheng Kai for an entire night, but he did not get anything out of him. I'd rather kill 1,000 wrongly than let one go. Sheng Xiao made me lose 2 helpers and even save Tang Yin. It's not too much for me to make the Sheng family lose 1 person. Dad, Chengbin didn't tell Sheng Kai about me. Why is Sheng Kai to blame? Song Qiaoji did not understand. And think about it. If Sheng Kai had known, Sheng Xiao wouldn't have allowed me to stay by Feng Shanshan's side for so long. Didn't you have a use for him? Why are you venting your anger on him now? After Jinbo heard this, he looked at his daughter in confusion. Are you sure he doesn't know? Think about it. Chengbin went crazy for revenge. Why would he tell Sheng Kai about such an important matter? Song Qiaoji asked Jinbo in return, just to test whether Sheng Kai is loyal or not. Jinbo thought about it and felt that it made sense. But now, I've already used a heavy punishment. If you really want to keep Sheng Kai as a pawn, then leave him to me. I promise that he will never betray you. Song Qiaoji promised Jinbo, your brother will be back soon. Take care of these things quickly. Jinbo's reply was a tacit agreement. Why did he insist on keeping Sheng Kai alive? Because after his son returned, he would make even bigger moves against Jianchuan. At that time, it would not be easy to find a scapegoat. A person as suitable as Sheng Kai was 1 in a million. Song Qiaoji nodded and went to the basement. Seeing the man covered in wounds, Song Qiaoji felt that this was the most manly Sheng Kai had ever been. She had used so many tools to extort a confession, but he did not say a single word. Then, Song Qiaoji had someone send the unconscious Sheng Kai to her new residence. Then, she personally stitched up Sheng Kai and applied medicine. Because there was no anesthetic, Sheng Kai woke up. When he saw Song Qiaoji, he frowned and looked defensive. Don't move. You're seriously injured now. If you want to live well, then listen to my arrangements. As Song Qiaoji applied the medicine for him, she said to him seriously, you know your situation. If you follow my father, you'll only die. Although I don't know who pushed you in back then, I believe that the Sheng family wants to drag you out. You are Godfather's daughter? Although I'm his daughter, I'm just one of his many daughters. I'm not worth much, Song Qiaoji explained. Because of your news, Sheng Xiao saved Tang Yin, but you're in danger because of it. Do you blame him? Sheng Kai didn't know what to feel. The reason why he gritted his teeth was because he knew that as long as he admitted it, there would only be a path to death. I'm not as noble as you think. I hate the Sheng family. This is deep-rooted. Besides, I'm not helping him. I'm just helping myself. After you leave my door, don't trust anyone, especially my father. But you have to pretend to obey him. That way, you'll live longer. After Sheng Kai heard this, he sneered. You should know your role. From the beginning, you were the scapegoat that my father chose. As for whether you were going to replace him or my brother in the end, no one knows. Then why are you doing this? Sheng Kai looked up at Song Qiaoji. You're Jinbo's daughter. Why? Whether you believe it or not, I want you to live. After saying that, Song Qiaoji helped him treat all his wounds. Life isn't as bad as you think. Many things are caused by the demons in your heart. You're not as bad as you think. Just because I helped Sheng Xiao. Sheng Kai sneered coldly. If I had known that I would suffer such torture, I wouldn't have. You knew. You know what kind of person my father is. Sheng Kai didn't say anything after being directly cut off by Song Qiaoji. Because you trust your brother, Sheng Xiao, more from the bottom of your heart. You seem to know the Sheng family very well. If you want to deal with an enemy, you have to understand their internal conflicts, don't you? Song Qiaoji's words were also a little sarcastic. You can sleep here today. When you go back tomorrow, think about what I said. I don't understand you. Tang Yin had said the same thing yesterday. There's food in the fridge. If you're hungry, you can eat it yourself. After saying that, Song Qiaoji put away the medical kit, took her bag, and hurried out the door. She was also involved in the kidnapping of Feng Shanshan. Originally, this matter could have been resolved perfectly, but there was a problem with the middle-aged woman. If Tang Yin wanted to pursue the matter, then so be it. However, she didn't worry about this matter because Jinbo would definitely think of a way to suppress it for her. Sheng Kai touched his wound and sat motionless on the sofa. Because he suddenly realized that other than Gu Xiling's family, he also hated himself the most. Sheng Zhao's words of letting bygones be bygones almost made him pay with his life. Chapter 860. Tang Yin had a fever for a day and a night. In the evening, he was transferred to the hospital in Jianchuan. When Professor Tang and Mrs. Tang received the news, they rushed to the hospital. When they saw their nephew in such a state, Professor Tang almost cried. Shan Shan, you haven't slept for a day and a night. Now that Tang Yin is back, your aunt and I are here to guard him. You should go back and rest. Professor Tang saw Feng Shanshan's haggard face and quickly persuaded her. Now that Cheng Bin has been brought to justice and there are so many police officers accompanying him, don't drag yourself down. When the time comes, won't his heart ache? That's right, Shan Shan. Go back and pack some clothes for Tang Yin, Mrs. Tang said as she grabbed Feng Shanshan's hand. Feng Shanshan wanted to wait for Tang Yin to wake up, but when she thought of her own condition, she did not insist. Xiao Xing felt guilty about Feng Shanshan being kidnapped, so she walked up to Feng Shanshan and lowered her head. Sister-in-law, I'll send you home. This time, I promise to complete the mission. Okay. Feng Shanshan did not blame her at all. Soon, Xiao Xing sent Feng Shanshan back to the villa. However, when she opened the door, she heard Mu Qiqi's voice behind her. Feng Shanshan turned around and saw her. Her eyes reddened. Mu Qiqi did not say anything. She went forward and hugged her. Who are you trying to scare to death? I'm sorry. I haven't slept well for the past 2 days. Dark circles have appeared under my eyes. It's all your fault. Mu Qiqi gently patted her shoulder. Do you know how much I wanted to come down from above? I try my best to hold it in. Then, I thought if this person really doesn't come back, what should I do in the future? Who should I take revenge on? At that moment, Feng Shanshan could not say anything. She could only let Mu Qiqi vent her anger, because she knew that Mu Qiqi had been suffering for the past 2 days. Then, Feng Shanshan saw Sheng Xiao behind Mu Qiqi. She let go of Mu Qiqi and walked up to Sheng Xiao. She bowed deeply. Thank you, CEO Sheng. Sheng Xiao did not answer. Instead, Mu Qiqi helped her up. At least you're decent. Come in. I'll go pack some clothes for Tang Yin and get Xiao Xing to bring them over. After confirming that you're fine, I'll go home. Mu Qiqi shook her head. Whenever she brought Feng Shanshan with her, she would feel extremely anxious. She was afraid that Sheng Xiao would be threatened like Tang Yin. Okay, then you can go back. I bought you a new phone. Don't lose it again. Before Mu Qiqi left, she took out her phone from her bag and handed it to Feng Shanshan. Look at how worried I am. I got it. Let's go back. There are 2 of you now. Mu Qiqi hugged her again before walking up to Sheng Xiao. Sheng Xiao held her neck and brought her back to the banyan courtyard. In fact, Sheng Xiao knew very well that seeing Feng Shanshan go through this made her very panicked and uneasy. Actually, you don't have to worry so much. Sheng Xiao stood behind her and said in a low voice, Your man is not so easily tricked, but I'll be tricked very easily. Mu Qiqi did not have that confidence in herself. Sheng Xiao knew that she felt sorry for him, so he did not say anything else. He took a step forward and held her hand. After accompanying her home, he went out again because he had not heard from Sheng Kai for 2 days. If Sheng Kai was suspected by Jin Bo, then no matter what method he used to contact Sheng Kai, it would only push Sheng Kai deeper into the abyss. Although Tang Yin and Jin Bo were the ones who had fought with Cheng Bin, the ones who were really competing in the dark were him and Jin Bo. Once Cheng Bin died, Jin Bo's fear of him would definitely deepen. Similarly, he had to drag Sheng Kai out of the abyss as soon as possible. Mu Qiqi watched Sheng Xiao go out. Although she really wanted to see Tang Yin, she did not want to experience such a thrilling separation because she did not believe that she would be lucky enough to be safe. Mama Sheng seemed to have seen through her thoughts and said, Xiao Qi, actually, you don't have to be so nervous. Mommy, you have to be nervous. There's a 100% chance of an accident happening. Before that person is caught, I'll try my best not to leave the house. Anyway, The outside world is saying that I'm seriously ill. If I go out, wouldn't it attract attention again? Mama Sheng stroked her hair with heartache. You care too much about eighth brother. Is that so? Yes. Mama Sheng nodded. There's nothing wrong with that. I admit it. It was only a few months, not a lifetime. Mu Chi did not think of this as so tragic. Besides, weren't all celebrities like this when they got pregnant? She enjoyed it and did not feel that there was anything to feel sorry for. In the afternoon, Zhongting, Su Che followed Sheng Zhao's instructions and went to inquire about Sheng Kai. In the end, he found out that Sheng Kai had already returned home. He's covered in injuries. He must have been tortured, but Jinbo let him go. This doesn't seem like Jinbo's style. Sheng Xiao frowned, and his expression was fierce. Su Che had been with him for so long, so he more or less knew that this was a sign before he got angry. What does the president plan to do next? I'll drag Sheng Kai back now. Jinbo will definitely try his best to get rid of him because he already knows a lot of Jinbo's secrets. Unless he's still useful, Jinbo won't keep him alive. After saying this, Sheng Xiao fell into deep thought. How big of a trap would he have to set for Sheng Kai to be safe? Or could it be that he had to figure out what happened 25 years ago and fight Jinbo head-on? Would there be an end to this matter? Sheng Xiao thought that he should go to the Shun family again tonight. After Sheng Kai was saved by Song Qiaoji and returned home, he saw Jinbo at home. Because his body was covered in injuries, it helped him hide his emotions, so Jinbo could not see the fear and disgust on Sheng Kai's face. Kai, don't blame me for being so strict with you. I'm afraid, I know, Sheng Kai replied lightly. Come, sit on the sofa. Jinbo pointed at the sofa and said, I believe you know that Xiaoji is my daughter. If you like her, let her take care of you. She's more considerate than that tigress at home. Godfather, Miss Song is your daughter. I won't have any improper thoughts. It's okay. In a few days, my eldest son will be returning to China. At that time, I'll introduce you to him. Also, I'll announce in public that you're my godson. In the future, I won't let anyone bully you. Thank you, Godfather. Sheng Kai did not forget Song Qiaoji's instructions. He had to obey him and not disobey him. Only then could he truly save his life. What are you thanking me for? After pretending to care, Jinbo comforted Sheng Kai and left his house. Then, Sheng Kai saw a photo of him and Gu Xiling. Everything started with Gu Xiling's grandfather. Chapter 861. After nightfall, Sheng Xiao brought Mu Chi back to the Shun family. Old Master Shen saw that the little one looked good. As if presenting a treasure, he led Mu Chi to the study and gave her a brocade box. This is my gift for my little great-grandson. Grandpa, you're too stingy. Grandpa Sheng knew that I was pregnant, but he said he would give me all of Huang Yao's shares. Mu Chi deliberately teased him. How can that be the same? Your grandpa isn't a businessman. He can't take out tens of thousands. If you want it, then take it. If not, then forget it. The old man was angry and turned his back to Mu Chi. Mu Chi chuckled and hugged the old man's arm. I'll be happy with whatever you give me, Grandpa. Hindsight. So, Grandpa, be more generous. Don't be outdone by your little great-grandson. The old man pouted. He was stunned by this little one's coaxing. Sheng Xiao could not help but laugh secretly when he saw this. This little one was actually making fun of her grandfather. Sheng Xiao turned around and went to Shun Jianchuan's antique room. He saw that he was wearing a vest and standing in the middle of a pile of antiques. He did not feel out of place at all. Shun Jianchuan returned to his room and asked, Did the matter with Tang Yin go smoothly? It's precisely because it went too smoothly that there's a hidden danger. Sheng Xiao looked up at his father-in-law. Sheng Kai. Shen Jianchuan thought for a moment and sat down on the sofa. This is really a problem. The battle with Jinbo is just the beginning. I don't know how many years this path will take. Now that Sheng Kai is stuck in the middle, it's really uncomfortable. Do you have any thoughts? Sheng Xiao shook his head. Sheng Kai has a lot of thoughts and is not easy to control. Even if we set a plan for him today, he will soon be able to overthrow it himself. Brother is yours. You know better than us what kind of person he is. If you really want to pull him back, Put him in the most obvious place so that Jinbo won't have the strength to deal with him. I think this is probably old Master Sheng's wish, right? Sheng Xiao did not answer, but Shun Jianchuan laughed. It's not strange at all. This is the human heart. After saying this, Shun Jianchuan glanced at Sheng Xiao again. All these years, you haven't been forced by old Master Sheng into a headstrong personality. You've shouldered the responsibilities of a man well. Sheng Xiao turned to Mu Chi-Chi, who was outside the door. If it hadn't appeared, perhaps he would still be the cynical crown prince. In this life, there would not be much change. Jin Bo's son, you'll be back in a few days, right? So, you don't have to worry. Sheng Kai's matter lacks an opportunity. He's being suspected now. It's best if you don't care and let Jin Bo be completely at ease. Outside the door, Mu Chi-Chi was very impatient. She poked her head into the room and said, I've never seen a father-in-law and son-in-law like you. You talk so much. Go out and accompany her, Shun Jianchuan said to Sheng Xiao. Sheng Xiao nodded slightly and stood up. He was dragged to the sofa by Mu Chi-Chi, looking angry. Grandpa, let me tell you, I found a helper. I don't believe that my master Xiao can't beat you. Eighth brother, let's play. Don't cry if you lose, Sheng Xiao said proudly. After resting in the hospital for 3 days, Tang Yin wanted to get out of bed and walk again. When Feng Shanshan saw him get up, she felt as if a knife was being twisted in her heart. When Feng Shanshan's eyes turned red, Tang Yin could only surrender. Okay, I won't get out of bed. Do you think you only suffered a few punches? A few of your ribs were clearly broken, Feng Shanshan said as she wiped her tears. I just want to go to the bathroom. Why didn't you say so earlier? I'll support you. Feng Shanshan's face was completely red as she helped Tang Yin to the bathroom. You've already seen it. Why are you still shy? Seeing that she was avoiding him, Tang Yin could not help but want to tease her. That's different. Feng Shanshan helped him back to the bed. Then, the nurse did her rounds. That night, the entire ward became quiet. Feng Shanshan had been sleeping on the bed next to Tang Yin for the past 2 days, which made him very uncomfortable. Will you sleep beside me tonight? But you're injured. I just want to hug you. I want to make sure you're by my side, Tang Yin said softly. Feng Shanshan had no ability to resist at all, so she nodded. Then be gentle. I'm afraid it'll tear your wound. The two of them lay quietly on the bed. Tang Yin took a deep breath behind Feng Shanshan. Chungbin's matter has finally come to an end. Okay, Feng Shanshan nodded. From now on, no one will threaten your safety. You knew that I wasn't in Chungbin's hands, so why did you still go to the appointment? Because I want him to die. I don't want innocent people to sacrifice themselves for us. When he said this, Tang Yin's tone was very sharp. Feng Shanshan could not help but tremble. It's just that I went crazy, but Sheng Xiao made me disappear in a reasonable manner. This person is too scary, because he knows that Chungbin is your not. This is the best outcome. Not wanting to mention that name again, Tang Yin hugged Feng Shanshan tightly and said, Sleep. I'll be by your side, always. Without the threat, Feng Shanshan finally relaxed and had a good night's sleep. Late at night, it was drizzling in Jianchuan. When Mu Chi-Chi woke up and saw that there was no one beside her, she knew that Sheng Xiao was still in the study. So, she put on her coat and quietly pushed open the door of the study. In the room, Sheng Xiao was wearing a black shirt. There was an indescribable sexiness to him, especially when he revealed his collarbone. Mu Chi-Chi felt that she was about to have a nosebleed from this man. What's the problem? It's so late, and you're still not sleeping. Sheng Xiao saw her sitting on him and subconsciously hugged her. Sheng Kai. What happened to Sheng Kai? He spread the news and was targeted by Jin Bo. He's been tortured for a few days. After Mu Chi-Chi heard this, she wrapped her arms around Sheng Xiao's neck. My man, right? There's always a way to solve problems. In this world, there's nothing that can't stop him. It's just that you haven't thought of it yet. Your trap is full of tricks and strange tricks. You can even pull Captain Tang back, let alone a mere Sheng Kai. Thank you for thinking so highly of me. Sheng Xiao looked at this thing and scoffed. My son, and I will cheer for you. I want a daughter, Sheng Xiao answered as he looked at her belly. No, I just want to bully my son. Who told you to always bully me here? My son is like you. I feel comfortable bullying him. You're a medical student. Don't you know that the chances of a son resembling a mother are higher? Muchichi was speechless. It was said that a pregnant woman would be stupid for 3 years. She was only 2 months pregnant, and she was already this stupid? But I still want a son. Moreover, I've already chosen a name. Fifth aunt said that the child's name should be grand. I don't think it's grand enough. It has to be domineering, so. If I really have a son, I'll call him Shang Batian. Chapter 862. Shang Kai was seriously injured and recuperating at home, but there was no one around to change his dressing. Song Xiaoji knew that he was in such a predicament, so she drove overnight to Shang Kai's house. Shang Kai opened the door and was surprised. You're a single woman. Isn't it inappropriate for you to go to a married man's house? Song Xiaoji carried the medical kit and didn't seem to hold any grudges. I'm a doctor, and you're a patient. This is a very normal thing to do abroad. Why do you have to hold a grudge? Sit down. Shang Kai sat on the sofa and took off his shirt. The densely packed bandages were covered in blood. Song Xiaoji sat down to change his dressing and saw Shang Kai tilting his head to look at her from time to time. Song Xiaoji couldn't help but laugh. Are you curious about me? Shouldn't I be? She was Jin Bo's daughter, but she did things that went against Jin Bo in every way. She said that she was a good person, but she also planned to kidnap Feng Shanshan. Shang Kai felt that he really couldn't understand this woman. There's no absolute good or bad in this world. I believe you understand this the best. Song Xiaoji treated Shang Kai's wounds and then helped him put on his shirt. You can't get wet for the next few days. What are your plans next? Shang Kai leaned back and rested his elbows on the sofa. He smiled bitterly. What plans can I have? I'm just meat on someone else's chopping board. Then let me tell you my thoughts. I want to collect evidence of Jinbo's crimes. Shang Kai was taken aback. I'm an undercover police agent. Shang Kai didn't say anything. He just looked at Song Xiaoji. How so? It's a long story. I participated in the secret training to avenge my mother. Jinbo was the person who killed my mother, so I swore that I would definitely find evidence of his crimes. This time, Baisini's case alarmed the higher-ups, so they used my identity to get me to collect more evidence of Jinbo's crimes. You are his daughter, but you can't even get close to him? He has many daughters, but they're just using him. My status is about the same as Shun Yu's, Song Xiaoji said mockingly. Of course, you can also take credit for my father and tell him that I'm an undercover police agent. I do want to do that, but the consequence is that there won't be anyone to bandage my wounds in the future. Shang Kai was very clear. So, in the future, if I need you to act, just cooperate with me. We'll do our best to protect each other. Song Xiaoji put away the medical kit and smiled at Shang Kai. If you still want to return to the Shang family. From Jinbo's attitude towards Song Xiaoji, she was indeed not lying. To Jinbo, although Song Xiaoji was his daughter, she was still a woman. Women were lethal weapons, nothing else. If there's a chance in the future, I'll tell you more. You should rest today. There are people watching you outside. Thanks. My brother will be back in a few days. You have to deal with him carefully. His name is Song Buoji, and he's a very difficult person to deal with. With that, Song Xiaoji picked up the medical kit. I'm leaving. I'll see you off. Shang Kai walked Song Xiaoji to the door and watched her drive away. But then, a familiar figure entered his sight. Shang Kai, are you so unscrupulous when it comes to women nowadays? Don't forget, we haven't divorced yet. Then let's get divorced, Shang Kai answered without thinking. Gu Xiling was flustered and exasperated. She pushed open the door that Shang Kai wanted close. You're doing this for that woman? Gu Xiling, I'm only going to strangle the people of the Gu family to death now. If you still want to live, don't appear in front of me again. Otherwise, I can't guarantee that I won't come and take your grandfather's life one day. Shang Kai sat on the sofa, his words filled with warning. Don't be cheap in front of me anymore. Divorce is good for everyone. You think you can divorce just because you want to? I don't agree. I'll send someone to deliver the divorce agreement to you another day. If you don't sign it, I'll cause trouble for your grandfather. Gu Xiling froze for a moment before she was pushed out of the house by Shang Kai. Gu Xiling knocked on the door unwillingly, but Shang Kai had no intention of paying any attention to her. Shang Kai, you bastard. I won't divorce you. Ah, wouldn't they just torture each other to death? In the past few days, the Jianchuan business world had been in a state of turmoil. The financial and education industries had welcomed a formidable opponent. The CEO of the Yashang Group had shifted his focus to the south. This outstanding person from the financial industry was now going to take root in Jianchuan. His name was Song Boji. Previously, Sheng Xiao had asked Su Che to investigate the relationship between Jin Bo and the Song family. But now, there was no need for that. Not only that, but even the relationship between Song Qiaoji and the others had been sorted out. The Song family did not intend to hide anymore. They wanted to show their faces in public and face it head-on. A few days later, the CEO of the Yashang Group was going to hold a grand reception at Dynasty Hotel. Of course, Zhongdong was also invited. After receiving the invitation, Shang Xiao wanted to meet this descendant of the Song family. Sheng Kai has been resting in the company for the past few days. He'll probably appear at the reception, Su Che said as he stood in front of Sheng Xiao. Jin Bo has declared war on the Sheng and Shun families at this reception. So, it's very likely that Sheng Kai will become a pawn for him to humiliate the Sheng family. Sheng Xiao sat on the chair and said with mixed emotions, "Then should we set up a trap? How? Wishful thinking? Only now do I feel that he has some temper. Do you think he's so easy to manipulate and listen to advice? But in the end, he still helped you," Su Che said. "If he hadn't hinted at that woman, then we wouldn't have been able to save Feng Shanshan. We'll talk about it at the reception. A strong dragon can't suppress a local snake. Even if the Song family is arrogant, they'll have to ask me first. After all, Jin Bo didn't get any benefits a few times. What about young madam? I'll tell her about this, but she won't go. Now that she was sick, there was no need to cause more trouble." This was also Mu Chi-Chi's own intention. Actually, Mu Chi-Chi also knew that there had been new people appearing in Jianchuan recently. After all, the newspapers and news were all on the front page. But that was not something she should ask about. She was too busy with the handicrafts at home. "Xiao Qi, don't you think it's weird to match red and blue?" Mama Sheng frowned when she saw her holding 2 balls of brightly colored wool. "Really?" Mu Chi-Chi was stunned for a moment. "I think it's pretty good. You're really a science student." Mama Sheng glared at her and replaced the 2 balls of wool in her hands with light pink and light blue. "Isn't this much more comfortable?" Mu Chi-Chi was stunned for a moment. She hesitated. "So I'm really not suitable for this. Who was the one who vowed to make toys for the baby? My poor Batian." Sigh. Mu Chi-Chi could not help but feel sad when she thought about how she did not have any artistic talent. "Who's Batian?" Mama Sheng did not understand. Mu Chi-Chi pointed at her lower abdomen. "The one inside." Chapter 863. When Xing Xiao returned home, he saw such a scene. Mu Chi-Chi was squatting beside Papa Sheng and watching him paint. At the same time, she also learned what aesthetics were. "Eighth brother, you're back." Mama Sheng looked at her son with a smile. Sheng Xiao did not understand and frowned slightly. However, he saw Mama Sheng take out a few semi-finished products and give them to Sheng Xiao. "Your son is blessed." The semi-finished products in her hands were either strange in color or strange in workmanship. Anyway, none of them were normal. Even if he thought with his toes, he would know whose masterpiece this was. The shockingly ugly cufflinks back then were her masterpiece. Of course, other than the set of bookmarks, they were still well-behaved and did not make any big mistakes. Mu Chi-Chi saw that Shang Xiao was holding a few things in his hands, and her face immediately turned red. I'm not done yet." "Stop. Don't waste resources," Shang Xiao advised her mercilessly. "But I shouldn't have believed that you can make anything good. Your hands are only beautiful when you cut up corpses." Mu Chi-Chi pursed her lips and did not say anything. "It's not the first time you know what kind of woman you are." Sheng Xiao took the things to the study, but he shamelessly placed the semi-finished products on his desk. When Mu Chi-Chi saw this, the corners of her mouth twitched. It's so ugly. Why did you put it there? It can still be salvaged. Xing Xiao took off his coat and sat in front of the desk. Since it's a toy for the child, I should also contribute. How can you be any better than me? Mu Chi did not believe it. Feeling sleepy, she fell asleep in Sheng Xiao's arms. Sheng Xiao hugged her helplessly with one hand, but there was nothing he could do. He could only let these things be ugly for now. In a few days, he would not be able to bring these things to the Yashang group reception. Su Che suggested bringing his secretary, but when he thought about how someone else was hanging on his arm, Sheng Xiao immediately rejected it. I'll go alone. This was because he had mental cleanliness. He only recognized this one thing in his life, so there was no room for others to touch any part of his body. 2 days later, Sheng Kai really sent Gu Xiling the divorce agreement. When Mama Gu saw it, she was very happy. Hurry up and sign it. That piece of trash will let you live. Thank God. However, Gu Xiling was dismissive. Mom, I won't sign it. It's all because of him that I became like this. Now he wants to kick me away and find a new lover? This is impossible. Can't you see that he's going crazy and wants to hit someone? How long are you going to continue wasting time with him? Mama Gu was puzzled. You don't have any feelings for him. Why bother? It's true that I don't have feelings for you, but I'm not willing to give up. After that, Gu Xiling tore the divorce agreement into pieces. I will never get a divorce in this life. Never. Mama Gu let out a long sigh. She felt that her daughter was probably crazy. Gu Xiling also felt that she was crazy, but so what? I'm going to contact the woman who came to me that day. I'm going to ask her why she seduced a married man. Gu Xiling waited at Sheng Kai's door for 2 days and 2 nights. That night, she saw Song Qiaoji drive to Sheng Kai's door with a medical kit. Then, Sheng Kai opened the door and brought her in. Gu Xiling was about to go crazy when she saw this scene. The person who went in also knew that someone was watching outside the door. When Song Qiaoji took out the gauze and medicine, she asked Sheng Kai, "Aren't you afraid that your wife will misunderstand? I've already sent her the divorce agreement." Sheng Kai took off his shirt, revealing the hideous wounds on his body. But I don't think she thinks so. Song Qiaoji sat beside Sheng Kai and used a pair of scissors to remove the gauze for him. I think you can be more decisive. Sheng Kai was a little strange and tilted his head to look at Song Qiaoji. I know who she is and what kind of person she is. Even if you're on the verge of death, she'll only quarrel with you, cause trouble for you, and trample on your self-esteem. Right? Song Qiaoji concluded. You know very well what kind of dangerous place you're in now. Don't let these feelings drag you down. Sheng Kai's mind was very clear. I understand. If you need anything, you can ask me for help. Sheng Kai didn't say anything, but deep in his heart, he wanted such warmth. Especially during this period of time, Song Qiaoji had been caring about him. However, he was afraid that Song Qiaoji would be the second abyss. Moreover, the relationship between Song Qiaoji and Jin Bo was too complicated. He was alone and probably didn't have the ability to interfere at all. Why aren't you saying anything? I think we should keep our distance. When Song Qiaoji heard this, she immediately laughed. It's really rare for you to be able to remain clear-headed when I deliberately approached you with a vague attitude. However, if you're with me, my father will trust you more. Why did you approach me? I'm just a scapegoat. I don't have any power or influence, and I can't help you complete your mission. Besides, I don't have the ability. I think you've suffered a lot from that woman. She shouldn't be by your ear. Stop talking about your incompetence, right? Song Qiaoji smiled. You secretly helped Sheng Xiao and helped him save Feng Shanshan. This is your ability. Sheng Kai didn't reply, but Song Qiaoji's words stirred up 1,000 waves in his heart. If you leave her, you'll be reborn. A bug like Gu Xiling should be left to rot on her own. Song Qiaoji bluntly evaluated Gu Xiling in front of Sheng Kai. The medicine has been changed. Rest. My brother will be back tomorrow, and Jianchuan will be bloody again. Sheng Kai nodded and watched as Song Qiaoji got up. When she was about to leave, he asked, "What do I have to do to be considered as truly getting close to Jin Bo? You can't afford that price." After saying this, Song Qiaoji closed the door. Outside the door, Gu Xiling and Song Qiaoji looked at each other. The first thing she said was, "He's really impotent. You've only been in there for less than 20 minutes. Miss Gu, let's talk." Since they were going to fight head-on, Song Xiaoji didn't run away. "What identity do you use to talk to me?" Sheng Kai's future wife. "What do you think?" Song Xiaoji smiled. "Get in the car. Let's go drink something nearby." Gu Ziling's expression was very ugly, but she was also deeply provoked by Song Xiaoji. The two of them found a cafe nearby and chose the most inconspicuous booth. "I won't agree to a divorce." "That's not up to you," Song Xiaoji said. "Do you believe it? As long as I tell your grandfather, he'll ask you to sign it immediately." "Who exactly are you?" Chapter 864. You're despicable and shameless. You might not know this, but Sheng Kai is impotent and can't have children. Perfect. Song Xiaoji stirred the coffee in her cup with a natural expression. "I'm a doctor, and I specialize in treating infertility." "You?" As she spoke, Gu Ziling wanted to slap Song Xiaoji, but Song Xiaoji easily grabbed her wrist. "Haven't you done enough harm to him? In the past, when he was in the Sheng family, you provoked and instigated all kinds of things to drive a wedge between him and his family. Later, when he came to the Gu family, you humiliated him and even pushed him into the abyss. Your Gu family doesn't treat him as a human at all. Instead of that, you might as well give him to me. I just like a wolf dog that needs to be tamed." Gu Ziling was so angry that her entire body was trembling, and her eyes were filled with hatred. "I know that Sheng Kai is like your toy. Even if it's broken, old, and has lost its freshness, he's still yours. If you let go of him immediately, you'll definitely feel uncomfortable. It's okay. I'll let you know what it means to let go." After saying that, Song Xiaoji stood up from the opposite side. "Also, even if he's impotent, I can cure him. By the way, I have a lot of powerful men here. If you need them, I can introduce them to you." Gu Ziling really did not expect that even a man like Sheng Kai would one day be snatched from her. Sheng Xiao was one thing, but now someone was snatching Sheng Kai from her. Did they think she was a pushover? Was she that easy to bully? Sorry, she was just that easy to bully. After Song Xiaoji returned home, she said to Jin Bo, "Dad, I like Sheng Kai. Why don't you take him in as your son-in-law?" Jin Bo looked at her in disbelief. "Are you serious?" "Of course. Didn't Dad not believe in him? Let him marry me. This way, we can prevent him from returning to the Sheng family. Isn't that killing two birds with one stone? But you deserve better." Song Xiaoji despised him in her heart. This person was still acting. She knew that Jin Bo had already verbally betrothed her to Sheng Kai. "No need. I like Sheng Kai's type. Moreover, I can help Dad supervise and make up for his previous mistake." Jin Bo thought about it and felt that it was not bad. So he said, "All right then, who asked my daughter to like it? Who asked my daughter to like him?" Early the next morning, Grandpa Gu received a call from Jin Bo asking Gu Ziling to sign the divorce papers. "Mr. Jin, why is that?" "Because my daughter likes Sheng Kai." Grandpa Gu's expression changed slightly, but he did not struggle and said, "I'll go do Ziling's work." Gu Ziling never expected that Song Xiaoji's phone call would actually come true. What Gu Ziling did not expect was that her grandfather would force her to divorce because of a phone call from an outsider. Otherwise, he would lock her up at home forever and ground her until she died. "Ziling, let go. Grandpa can help you find a better man. Sheng Kai is nothing. Since Mr. Jin's daughter likes it, you should give it to her. Isn't that incompetent?" Gu Ziling sat on the carpet at home, feeling cold all over. "It's already like this. Can I still not sign it? I hope that the adulterous couple dies without a burial." After saying this, Gu Ziling wrote her name on the divorce agreement and ran back to her room in tears. Sheng Kai had sent countless copies of the divorce agreement. Finally, there was one with Gu Ziling's name written on it. This ill-fated relationship had finally come to an end. Then Jin Bo called Sheng Kai. On the phone, he was as amiable as usual. "Ah Kai, don't call me godfather in the future. Call me dad like Xiaoji." Sheng Kai did not understand. "In short, Dad is happy for you." After hearing this, Sheng Kai understood why Gu Xiling was willing to sign it. Song Xiaoji had probably put in a lot of effort into it. So, after hanging up with Jinbo, he called Song Xiaoji. "What did you say to Godfather? Isn't it good for us to be together?" Song Xiaoji said calmly. "I'll let you have dignity." Sheng Kai had no idea why Song Xiaoji was doing this. However, the only thing that made him feel relaxed and relieved was that he finally had nothing to do with the Gu family. "Brother is back. I'll take you to have a meal with him." Sheng Kai did not say anything. This meal was unavoidable. Tomorrow was the Yashang group reception. Late at night the night before, Sheng Xiao brought Mu Qiqi out to the hospital. Tang Yin was injured, and she had yet to show her face. She was still worried, so she begged Sheng Xiao to let her show her face. At 11 o'clock at night, Sheng Xiao appeared in Tang Yan's ward. Mu Qiqi poked her head in. "Captain Tang." Feng Shanshan had gone home to rest. Old Cheng was guarding Tang Yan. When he saw Mu Qiqi, he was stunned. "Qiqi, aren't you seriously ill?" "Yes, I have an infectious disease. I've been quarantined for a long time, so I came out to get some fresh air." "Nonsense." Old Cheng glared at her. "It's true that you're sick, but you're not bettered in every day." Mu Qiqi teased him and then explained. "How's Captain Tang?" "Much better." "That's good." Mu Qiqi saw that although Tang Yin was wrapped in gauze, his mind did not seem to have any major problems. When Tang Yin saw Sheng Xiao, he remembered something. He turned his head and said to Old Cheng, "Take Qiqi out for a minute. I have something to say to CEO Sheng." Old Cheng was stunned for a moment before he nodded. "Let's go, Qiqi. They're going to talk about secrets again." Mu Qiqi did not care about it in the past, so she smiled. "There's nothing to talk about with Captain Tang. I might as well talk to Senior Brother Cheng." After saying that, the two of them reached the door, and Mu Qiqi put on her hat. "Right now, all of you are acting all mysterious." Mu Qiqi shrugged and did not think much of it. In the ward, Tang Yin propped himself up and looked at Sheng Xiao. "Song Xiaoji should be an undercover police agent." "How do you know?" "I've thought about it from the beginning to the end, and I feel that there are many things that I can't understand. For example, she clearly caught someone, so why did she hide Shanshan upstairs? Another example is that she received Jinbo's order to kidnap Shanshan, but she didn't tell Jinbo where Shanshan was hiding. So, I concluded that she actually wanted to protect Shanshan. If she fell into the hands of Cheng Bin and Jinbo, it's impossible for Shanshan to still be intact." "Is there any other evidence?" Sheng Xiao asked again. "When I threatened her, she warned me not to investigate Bai Sini's case anymore. She said that someone had already taken over. I'm telling you this because I think that Sheng Kai's situation might not be that bad." Sheng Xiao also expressed his opinion to Tang Yan. "Song Xiaoji is Jinbo's daughter. Why would she help the police? This woman is unfathomable. I'll observe her carefully." Chapter 865. Tang Yin said this because they had almost lost their lives when Feng Shanshan was kidnapped. If something happened to Mu Qiqi, she did not know how crazy the man in front of her would be. Half an hour later, the two of them returned. Mu Qiqi could not resist the reminder of her biological clock and fell asleep in Sheng Xiao's arms. When she woke up, it was already 1 in the morning, but when she turned around, there was no man beside her. Mu Qiqi got up and tiptoed to the study. She saw Sheng Xiao rolling up his sleeves and fixing her damaged work. He had to work during the day and accompany her at night. This man had almost no time for himself. Mu Qiqi took a deep breath. Not wanting to disturb him, she went back to her room and lay on the bed, pretending not to see anything. The next morning, Mu Qiqi deliberately woke up early. When he went to the study and saw the little puppet that Sheng Xiao had completed, he happily held it in his hand and looked for the man everywhere. However, he saw Sheng Xiao putting on his shirt in the cloakroom. "When did you do it?" What Sheng Xiao wanted to see was Mu Qiqi's excitement. There was a faint smile on his lips. With magic, Mu Qiqi didn't expose him. She was so excited that she couldn't control herself. Satisfied with Mu Qiqi's happiness, Sheng Xiao put on a dark double-breasted suit and a black and white tie. Mu Qiqi was a little puzzled after looking at it. What kind of formal occasion is this? I'm attending the Yashang group's reception today. I'll be home late tonight. Don't wait for me. Xing Xiao took the opportunity to hug her and remind her. Is it a nouveau riche who came back from overseas? Cultivate your character at home. Don't ruin your handicrafts. Xing Xiao did not answer her question. He just kissed the top of her head and sighed. Be good. How am I not obedient? Mu Qiqi muttered. There are many beautiful women at the banquet. Don't look too much, idiot. Xing Xiao let go of Mu Qiqi after scolding her and went down the stairs. He would definitely see Sheng Kai at the reception today, and Jinbo would definitely think of ways to humiliate the Sheng family. At noon, it was drizzling. Song Xiaoji went to Changrong to pick up Sheng Kai and then went to the airport to welcome Song Boji. Because of the injury on his face, Sheng Kai focused on being his driver. A moment later, he saw a man in a beige trench coat walk out of the airport, surrounded by a group of subordinates. Song Xiaoji immediately got out of the car to welcome him. Brother, Song Boji wasn't too tall. He was close to 1.8 meters, but he had a strong aura that made it difficult for people to approach him. Hearing Song Xiaoji shout, Song Boji took off his glasses and glanced at her. After confirming that it was his sister, he said to the secretary beside him, Take care of Mississippi. I'll be leaving first. Okay, Manager Song. The secretary answered while walking. Song Xiaoji chased after him, but she was stopped by the secretary. Miss, CEO Song wants to be alone, so you guys can eat lunch by yourselves. There's no need to wait for him. Is he going to the banquet tonight? After seeing Sir, he will go directly. Miss, don't worry. All right then. Song Xiaoji did not force him. She and Song Boji were not close. Therefore, after returning to the car, she heaved a sigh of relief. Let's go home. There's no lunch. Sheng Kai was a little confused. Jinbo only has a sun in his eyes, so it's normal for him to look down on me, his sister. When we meet, we just exchange pleasantries. Sheng Kai nodded and did not ask any more questions. Even his own daughter could be isolated outside. What kind of person was he as his godson? Then, do you not have to attend tonight's banquet? Of course not. Zhongting is also invited tonight. Do you think my father will let go of this opportunity? He'll definitely bring you along to show off. You're his godson now. Sheng Kai thought about it and felt that he could not deny it. Indeed, this was his role. It sounded nice in name, but in reality, he was just a scapegoat. However, compared to my powerful brother, I believe in CEO Sheng even more. Jinchuan is his territory. It's not my brother's turn to behave atrociously. Just wait for a good show tonight. You know Sheng Xiao well. Sheng Kai's words were unclear, but there was a hint of jealousy in them. Song Xiaoji heard it and smiled. I just believe in justice, right? I know that you were the one who did something to Gu Xiling. What exactly do you want from me? I'm useless to you. You're thinking too much. I just don't want innocent people to be sacrificed. That's why I teamed up with you. If one day I go to Jinbo's office to steal something, at least there's someone who can cover for me. Song Xiaoji was very calm. What are you going to steal? I'm not sure. It might be a list, or it might be evidence of a crime. How difficult was it to get close to Jinbo? Sheng Kai knew very well that even Sheng Xiao was on guard against him. How could he rely on Song Xiaoji alone? How could he complete such a mission? I know you'll think that it's almost impossible, but opportunities always come. You're risking your life, Sheng Kai said with certainty. Sheng Kai said with certainty. He remembered very clearly that on the day Shen Yu died, his entire body was trembling. So, you can still stay away from me and not be dragged into a deeper hell by me. Sheng Kai did not say anything. He just sped up. This woman was very strange, giving off an indescribable sense of mystery. However, she was gentle, unlike Gu Xiling, who only knew how to complain and blame. Sheng Kai, do you believe it? Sheng Xiao is thinking of a way to drag you out. If there's really a chance, you should run away. Run far away. Sheng Kai still did not say anything because he had a premonition that his life would be closely related to this woman. Go back. I'll choose a fitting suit for you. It's a big scene tonight. On this day, Mu Qiqi was sitting at home. She was very upset because she really wanted to go to the cocktail party with Sheng Xiao, because every time this man could amaze the world in all kinds of occasions. She wanted to see the most handsome side of him. However, she could not help but worry. Sheng Xiao must be hiding more and more things from her. She had originally thought that she would not pay attention to these things since she was pregnant, but when Sheng Xiao really went to the banquet, she was stunned. She really did not know what her man had been doing recently. Fortunately, she still had her secretary as a spy. However, what surprised her was that Sheng Xiao did not bring his secretary with him at all. Instead, he brought Su Che. The dignified president Sheng actually did not bring a female companion to an event. President Sheng doesn't bring a female companion because of you, madam. He doesn't want others to hold his arm. Was that so? Mu Chi could not help but smile sweetly. But madam, how are you? I wanted to come and see you for a long time, but I was too busy. It's fine. I just need to rest. Mu Chi quickly comforted the secretary. This secretary was really cute. Chapter 866. You're exaggerating. You should find a boyfriend. It's true. The secretary sent a sad emoji. And madam, I heard that this Yashang group reception is for the president. I wonder what he'll encounter if he goes. I really want to see him kill everyone. Come for Master Xiao? What for? Come to suffer? Master Xiao has become a father. If he keeps a low profile, he won't be Master Xiao anymore. Mu Chi was not worried about this at all. Don't worry about it. I'm sleepy. I'm going to sleep. The secretary looked at Mu Chi-Chi's message. Why did she feel that Mu Chi-Chi was not sick at all? Instead, she was enjoying herself? Then, the secretary told Sheng Xiao about Mu Chi-Chi's message over the phone. Sheng Xiao was already on his way to the reception. When he heard about that thing from the secretary, he could not help but feel that it was very interesting. Because of the rain, Jianchuan had already entered the night. Although it was almost summer, the drizzle also brought a chill. At that moment, guests were entering the Dynasty Hotel one after another. The local businessmen gathered in groups of 3 to 5 to discuss this menacing Song Boji. I haven't even seen him yet, but I've already heard the news in the newspapers that he's going to become the #1 in Jianchuan within a year. I've never seen such an arrogant person. Even Sheng Xiao didn't boast like this back then. This is clearly aimed at Sheng Xiao. I heard that the CEO of Yashang Group is also a big shot. Perhaps he really can't compete with Sheng Xiao. After all, Sheng Xiao has been keeping a low profile for the past 2 years. Maybe he really can't play anymore? The last time Sheng Xiao kept a low profile, Zhongting wasn't even established yet. Wave after wave of discussion made the banquet extremely lively. After that, Song Boji was the first to appear. He had an imposing appearance and an extraordinary aura. Just looking at his cold face made it hard to get close to him. Although his height was passable, he was indeed a big shot. Not many people present knew what kind of person Song Boji was and what kind of personality he had. Furthermore, it was obvious that his social skills had reached the pinnacle of perfection. In just a short while, he had left a good impression on the guests, especially when he was abroad and had the experience of interacting with the royal family. This made people feel that he was unreachable. Not long after, Jin Bo brought Song Qiaoji and Sheng Kai into the venue. Naturally, no one had heard of this person before, but Song Boji introduced him to outsiders. This is my father, Song Jiang. It was Jin Bo's real name, Song Jiang. Other than the people around Deputy Mayor Liang, almost no one had seen Jin Bo's activities. Therefore, they thought that he had returned from abroad. However, they did not know that he had already stirred up a lot of trouble in Jianchuan. But the most surprising thing was still Sheng Kai. As a member of the Sheng family, Sheng Kai was actually following Song Jiang. After falling out with the Sheng family, he suddenly took over Changrong Electronics, and now he was with the Song family. What was going on? Song Qiaoji generously hugged Sheng Kai's arm without any hesitation. This added a lot of gossip to Sheng Kai. He has a family. Why didn't he bring Miss Gu with him? The two of them have always been rumored to be at odds. It's normal that Sheng Kai doesn't want to bring her out. When Sheng Kai heard this, his back stiffened. However, Song Qiaoji comforted him. There's no need to care about this. However, in the eyes of others, Song Jiang had even brought Sheng Kai. Wasn't it obvious that he was trying to slap the Sheng family's face? No one knew how the insufferably arrogant Sheng Xiao would feel if he saw this. The banquet was filled with toasts. Even the annual award ceremony was not as lively as this. In a luxurious hall, the music concealed the surging undercurrents. At 7:15 p.m., a black Bentley stopped at the entrance of the hotel. Then, Su Che got out of the car with an umbrella and welcomed Sheng Xiao. Many guests stood by the windows on the second floor. When they saw Sheng Xiao appear, they thought that the climax was about to come. They were watching a good show. Raindrops occasionally fell on Sheng Xiao's shoulder. Su Che gently flicked them away for him. The two of them entered the hotel together. Then, they started discussing. Rumor has it that the little bride of the Sheng family is sick, and she's seriously ill. Seeing that Sheng Xiao didn't even bring a female companion with him, it's probably true. I still think that CEO Sheng is much more pleasing to the eye. His height is a sore point. The women present couldn't help but discuss Sheng Xiao and Song Buoji's appearance. CEO Sheng's temperament is obviously superior to CEO Song's. Sheng Xiao didn't have the time to care about the gossip because when he went up to the second floor, he saw Song Buoji coming up to him. I've long heard of CEO Sheng's reputation. Now that I've met you today, you're indeed extraordinary. Song Buoji reached out his hand, but Sheng Xiao clearly had no intention of shaking it. CEO Song, you're too polite. Compared to the Song family's recent limelight, I'm inferior. Song Buoji retracted his right hand. He wasn't angry. He wiped it with a handkerchief and said, CEO Sheng, you're really not polite. It's a humiliation to be polite to a talented student like CEO Song. When Song Buoji heard this, he laughed. He felt like he had met his match. However, while no one was paying attention, Song Buoji leaned close to Sheng Xiao and whispered, "Why don't you let sister-in-law out? She's sick." "Is that so?" "I think she's not sick. It's just that CEO Sheng hit her." "Actually, CEO Sheng doesn't have to be so afraid. After all, I won't do anything to a cute beauty." Sheng Xiao smiled faintly and was unmoved. My wife is picky. After all, not every occasion is worth attending. But I've admired her for a long time. I heard that she's amazing with a scalpel. If there's a chance, CEO Sheng, you must let me get to know her. To the bystanders, this sentence was already a blatant provocation. If it had been anyone else, they would have flown into a rage out of humiliation. However, this man who was as steady as Mount Tai was Sheng Xiao. Don't forget that he was once like Song Buoji. He was cynical and deliberately provoked other people's weaknesses. So, could he not handle it? However, he calmly tidied up his sleeves and replied, "Then you'll have to put in some effort because she only likes to appear in places where there are dead people." When everyone heard this, there was only one word: admiration. Basically, no one had ever succeeded in challenging CEO Sheng's ability to deal with all kinds of changes. It's really interesting to chat with CEO Sheng. Song Buoji revealed a strong interest. He did not admit defeat. In any case, it was just a small test to see if this legendary man was really that difficult to deal with. Now, it seemed that the rumors were not lies. Chapter 867. Song Buoji's words seemed to have ignited the flames of war once again. However, Sheng Xiao was also a strong fighter. He was not afraid of such provocation at all. Is that so? Then I really have to thank the Song family for treating my second brother as a distinguished guest. After all, everyone is a saint. Who can be free from mistakes? There will also be times when a family member is lost, but I believe that the dark clouds will disperse one day, and second brother will come home one day. Because sooner or later, the Song family will be settled again, won't they? After hearing this, Song Buoji was slightly stunned. Then he laughed. CEO Sheng, you really have a glib tongue. You won't suffer any losses. My other abilities are also not bad. You could try them another day, CEO Song. At the sight of that, the people who had been worried for Sheng Xiao finally relaxed their brow. Even though Shang Xiao was already 30 years old and had a family and a career, he was still as black-bellied and difficult to deal with as before. He had thought that the Song family would have the upper hand with the Shang family's second son in their hands. However, in front of Shang Xiao, they did not have any advantages and were still at a disadvantage. I joked with CEO Shang a lot just now. Please don't take offense. You're a distinguished guest tonight. Please take a seat. From the beginning to the end, Shang Xiao was extraordinarily calm because he knew that tonight's show had not really begun. Not far away, Shang Kai stood beside Song Jiang. The injuries on his face were especially obvious. Their gazes occasionally met, but Shang Kai was unwilling to look into Shang Xiao's eyes. Because tonight, he was meat placed on the grill. What he had to face was discussion and mockery from all directions. Calm down. Don't lose your composure, Song Qiaoji reminded him in his ear. You're not the one being humiliated, so you naturally don't have to panic. What good will it do me if you're humiliated? I'll be by your side, Song Qiaoji said gently. Shang Kai was slightly surprised, but then he relaxed a little. It wasn't like he had never fought with Shang Xiao before. What happened now? He couldn't do it anymore? Song Jiang brought Shang Kai around to greet the guests. From time to time, he would talk about his beloved godson. However, everyone knew that Shang Kai was a member of the Shang family and had fallen out with the Shang family to the point of irreconcilable enmity. By doing this, Song Jiang was looking down on the Shang family. A moment later, Song Buoji introduced Song Jiang. This is my father, Song Jiang. Song Jiang looked at Shang Xiao with a smile. He always looked kind on the surface, but he probably didn't even know how many evil things he had done in secret. Shang Xiao also smiled faintly and said, "We've met before, haven't we, old Mr. Song?" There was a hidden meaning in Shang Xiao's words. Those who were not involved would not understand it at all. Song Jiang really liked Shang Xiao's extraordinary bearing. So he said, with a grandson like CEO Shang, the old man of the Shang family can really spend his old age in peace. You're a VIP today. You must have a few drinks later. By the way, Shang Kai, come here and say hello to Chief Shang. Song Jiang turned around and said to Shang Kai. Shang Kai knew that he couldn't avoid it. So he took 2 steps forward and stood beside Song Jiang. He looked at Shang Xiao with an unreadable expression in his eyes. CEO Shang, long time no see. The old man has been talking about you a lot recently. When you're done playing, go home. Shang Xiao was uncharacteristically not sarcastic, and not hostile. He was originally the younger brother, but he spoke softly to Shang Kai like an older brother. It was precisely because of his attitude that Shang Kai had a way out. Shang Kai had thought that he was going to be burned by the flames, but Shang Xiao's rain had moistened his heart. CEO Song's family is in the education and finance business, so you can learn a lot. With a godfather to take care of you, I won't have to worry. Don't you think so, old Mr. Song? Song Jiang did not expect Shang Xiao to do this. He had been showing off outside for a long time, but he did not expect Shang Xiao to end it with a mischievous brother running away from home. Akai is very outstanding. As his godfather, I have high hopes for him. Then I'll have to trouble you, old Mr. Song. Shang Xiao acted as if he was entrusting a task to him and acted like a big family. Then he said to Shang Kai, of course, if you want to go home, just tell me. The 2 brothers seemed to have returned to their original state. There was no hostility or fighting. However, Shang Kai knew that since he was on Song Jiang's side, he had to show his attitude and take the initiative to attack. Otherwise, when he was schemed against, he would not even have the right to speak. Therefore, he sneered and said sarcastically, I still can't forget everything that happened in the Shang family. CEO Shang, you've forgotten it quite quickly. There's no place for me in that family. Everyone's fate is in Chief Shang's hands. Go home. My home is in the Song family. It was Godfather who gave me a chance to be reborn. Since the Shang family doesn't want me, why put on an act now? So, I won't forget everything that the Shang family has done to me. I won't dare to forget. Shang Kai's sharp answer pushed Shang Xiao to a whole new level. Song Jiang blinked. He did not expect Shang Kai to surprise him at such a time. Look at Shang Xiao. Could he still say a word after being criticized by his own brother? Everyone watched the atmosphere nervously. They watched the undercurrent between the two brothers. Could the Song family really be able to suppress Sheng Xiao? However, Sheng Xiao chuckled and maintained his demeanor as the elder. It's good that you remember it. I remember this hatred back then. With Zhongting today, if your Changrong can also advance by leaps and bounds, I think it's worth it for you to remember this hatred. Sheng Xiao. Chill. Sheng Xiao made a shushing gesture to remind him to stop. Old Mr. Song and CEO Song are both modest gentlemen. Since you've learned everything, why don't you learn more patience? Or could it be that you haven't improved at all after going to Changrong Electronics for a few months? Even so, I don't think the Song family treats you very well as an adopted son. Speaking of which, I also thought of something. The employees of Changrong Electronics don't seem to have good mental fortitude. If you really want to improve, I'll lend you Zhongning's team a try. The Song family started out in education and finance. How could it not help you with this? In just a few words, his words were sharp. Sheng Xiao not only brought up by Cindy's case, but also revealed the Song family's original intention of controlling Sheng Kai. Since they wanted to provoke him, they couldn't blame him for being vicious with his words. After all, he was a righteous person. Why would he be afraid of those crooked ways? Song Jiang's expression changed. He knew that Sheng Kai couldn't provoke Sheng Xiao anymore. Otherwise, things might really get out of hand. CEO Sheng, this is a huge misunderstanding. How can you two quarrel on such an occasion? We're all family. Sheng Xiao lowered his head, his brows sharp. However, when he raised his head, he looked at Song Jiang. The meaning of his question was very obvious. Was he not going to play anymore? The corner of Song Jiang's mouth twitched. He finally understood how difficult Sheng Xiao was to deal with. Chapter 868. Akai. Accompany Xiaoji for a walk and get to know Uncle. Song Jiang quickly sent the hateful Sheng Kai away. Yes, Godfather. Sheng Kai turned around and held Song Xiaoji's hand. The two of them walked out of the banquet hall to get some fresh air. Did you do it on purpose just now? Song Xiaoji leaned against the fence and asked, if I didn't do that, how would Godfather believe that I hate the Sheng family? Sheng Kai raised his head and allowed the cold wind to pour into his limbs. He can handle it anyway. Your younger brother is really a god. He can handle such a scene so easily. Song Xiaoji had seen it clearly just now. She was amazed by Sheng Zhao's adaptability, eloquence, and aura. Any woman would choose him, right? Song Xiaoji was slightly stunned. She could hear the underlying meaning in his words and chuckled. Look, when you men are jealous, don't you also say things without thinking? Sheng Xiao is indeed a dragon among men. He's rare, but I don't like a perfect god like him. Sheng Kai's expression was a little unnatural. After a while, he said softly, that woman once told me that she likes the strongest man. I don't have a hero complex. I just feel that every soul is extraordinary, don't you think? Song Xiaoji's smile did have the ability to heal people. Sheng Kai unconsciously fell into it, but he knew that he shouldn't have. With Sheng Zhao's capital, he should have a lot of women, but he likes a little girl. I've seen her before, Song Xiaoji said. The girl who accompanied Feng Shanshan to the prenatal checkup feels like the same kind of person as Sheng Xiao. She's not someone to be trifled with. Sheng Kai let himself be drenched in the drizzle for a while to regain his senses. Then he said to Song Xiaoji, go in. Whether it's sarcasm or humiliation tonight, I'll accept it all. At the cocktail party, Sheng Xiao and Song Boji inevitably fought with words. However, according to Sheng Zhao's level, not only was Song Boji not tall enough, but his eloquence was also inferior. Although the guest had to follow the host's wishes, Sheng Xiao had no intention of giving in at all. However, Song Boji was extremely competitive. The more Sheng Xiao refused to give in, the more he saw Sheng Xiao as his opponent. However, this situation was soon interrupted by a phone call. Sheng Zhao's face softened when he saw that it was the little one's call. He was a completely different person from the fierce look he had just now. Then, he said to the guest who was chatting with him, sorry, I have to take a call. After that, He left the crowd and walked towards the hotel garden. When Song Boji saw this, he smiled with interest. It was not a good thing for a man like Shang Xiao to care so much about a woman, because people were most afraid of having a weakness, and Shang Xiao's weakness was not small. In the garden, Shang Xiao held his phone and felt a little helpless. He had already said that he would be back late tonight when he left in the morning. The party would not end until 10 o'clock. However, as soon as he picked up the call, this thing asked him, "I miss you. When are you coming back?" Shang Xiao raised his hand to look at his watch. It was only a little past 8. This thing was clearly intentional. There's still a while left. It's so boring to face those people. "Master Xiao, your son told you to go home quickly. At least 9 o'clock. But there's thunder at home. Mom and Dad aren't back yet. I'm afraid to be alone at home." Shang Xiao was speechless. This person was not afraid of rotting corpses or exploding heads, but she was afraid of thunder? "Stop fooling around. I'll try my best." With that, Shang Xiao hung up and returned to the guests. When Song Boji saw this, he walked up to Shang Xiao and smiled warmly. "I knew Madame Shang wasn't sick. I was right. CEO Song, do you always rely on intuition?" "That's not a good habit," Shang Xiao replied. "Speaking of which, Shang Kai still owes my father a cup of tea. CEO Shang, you have to witness it." Shang Xiao did not pay attention to what Song Boji had said because he could vaguely hear the sound of thunder. In the afternoon, Mama Shang had indeed said that she would go to the class reunion with Papa Shang that night, so the little one was the only one at home. Thinking of this, Shang Xiao put down the champagne in his hand and said to Song Boji, "I think it's better for you to test me next time. There's still a long way to go, isn't there? My wife isn't feeling well today, so I'll take my leave first. We'll meet often in the future, so I won't say goodbye." "Is Madame Shang really sick? What does it have to do with you?" With that, Shang Xiao gestured to Su Che, and the two of them walked out of the banquet hall together. When the guests saw this, they could not help but be surprised. Why is Shang Xiao leaving? Rumor has it that the little bride is seriously ill. It should have something to do with her, a guest. That's true. She's his favorite. What's there to care about at the banquet? A few words of discussion followed Shang Xiao's figure and disappeared into the night. The rain tonight did not seem to have any intention of stopping. Song Jiang could not help but sigh. He had originally prepared a new program to see Shang Xiao's reaction, but in the end, he had left just like that. However, it did not matter. There was still a long way to go. However, Shang Kai's tea still had to be offered. He had to kneel down and call him Godfather for it to count. It was only 8:30 in the night. Mu Chi was alone at home, sighing. Although she was not really afraid of thunder, she could not help but feel uncomfortable when she was alone in such a big house. She had wanted to call Feng Shanshan or Lu Qianqian to relieve her boredom, but at that moment, the door was suddenly pushed open. Mu Chi propped herself up and saw that it was her man. She immediately stood up, her eyes bright, and it was not difficult to see the joy in them. "Why are you back?" "I don't know who called." Shang Xiao took off his coat that was covered in the cold wind and entered the living room. Seeing that the house was empty and the thunder and lightning flashed, he reached out and hugged her. As expected, "What? Instead of drinking with a group of unrelated people, I might as well go home and watch you do your handicrafts. Don't think I don't know that you're laughing at me." Mu Chi took the opportunity to hammer Shang Xiao's chest. Shang Xiao hugged her and sat down, letting her lean against his chest. In front of the two of them was the new handicraft that Mu Chi had just unwrapped. She had not had the time to start. "Did you see Shang Kai?" "Yes." Shang Xiao hummed faintly. "Did you quarrel?" "There's nothing to say." Shang Xiao did not want to bring those troublesome things home, nor did he want her to worry about him. Chapter 869. Mu Chi knew what he was thinking, so she did not ask further. With a call from her, he came back in the rain. What else did he want? Other bosses prioritize making money more important than anything else. They won't miss any opportunity to build a relationship. My boss is the opposite. Who asked you to be sick? Sheng Xiao curled his lips. This excuse could probably be used for months. Since you're back, accompany me to do handicrafts. Mu Chi took apart the parts and placed them in front of Sheng Xiao. I can help with the cutting. You could do the rest. Then you don't have to do it. Sheng Xiao wrapped his arms around her and rested his chin on her shoulder. It was indeed much better to be intimate and warm than to be with those old things. Mu Chi willingly nestled in Sheng Xiao's arms. At this moment, even if lightning flashed and thunder rumbled outside, she did not feel afraid or lonely at all. This was because this embrace was the warmest and safest embrace in the world. Therefore, at 10 o'clock in the evening, when Mama Sheng and Sheng Xiao opened the door and returned home, they saw such a warm scene. The old couple also consciously did not want to be their son and daughter-in-law's third wheel. After taking off their shoes and entering the door, they did not make any noise at all. They quietly walked through the living room and returned to their room. When had Sheng Xiao ever been so childish? He could only see it when he was with Xiao Qi. She had raised her son all these years, but she had never seen Sheng Xiao like this, except in front of Mu Chi. What a spectacle! You've made a fool of yourself in front of Mom and Dad. Mu Chi leaned her elbow against Sheng Xiao's chest. Then I'll go back to my room. With that, Sheng Xiao was about to get up, but Mu Chi stopped him. Sit down, you bad guy. You only know how to test me. At least finish this. On the other side, the Yashan group reception had already ended. Because Sheng Xiao was not present in the second half. Even if Xing Kai saluted Song Jiang and offered tea, he would not feel too embarrassed. Perhaps this was another deeper meaning behind Sheng Xiao's excuse to leave. Then, the group left the hotel. Xing Kai sent Song Jiang to the car, but Song Jiang stopped him. You're tired today. Go back and rest. Let Xiaoji accompany you. Xing Kai glanced at Song Xiaoji beside him and did not say anything. Then, he closed the car door for Song Jiang. Godfather, take care. Behind Song Jiang, Song Boji drove a blue Maybach. However, when he looked at Sheng Kai and Song Xiaoji, there was a hint of unusual interest in the corners of his mouth. He felt that these two were both actors. However, there was still a lot of time, so he should take his time to play, so he didn't mind. Today, when he returned to China, he brought back a new product from abroad. He hadn't played with it yet. Tomorrow, he would try it out. The better Sheng Xiao protected her, the more he wanted to invade Sheng Xiao's territory. Thinking of this, he couldn't help but feel happy. Song Boji smiled and followed behind Song Jiang's car. Seeing that her father and brother had left, Song Xiaoji turned to Sheng Kai and said, It's over. I'll send you back. I don't want to go back yet. Sheng Kai shook his head. I know that Song Jiang humiliated you like that. In your heart. Whenever he thought of this, Sheng Kai would think of his hatred for the Gu family and Gu Xiling. Seeing his cold expression, Song Xiaoji knew that he was in a bad mood. So she suggested, Then, let's go out for a drink. I want to be alone. Don't stay alone. You'll get sick. After saying that, Song Xiaoji pushed Sheng Kai into the black car. My brother suffered a lot in front of Sheng Xiao tonight. When he goes back, he'll definitely think of a way to get back at him. He's a very vengeful person, so try not to offend him. Even I won't be able to get any benefits from him. Now, can you tell me the reason why Jin Bo hid his identity? As Song Xiaoji drove, she observed Sheng Kai's expression. Finally, she said softly, I'm afraid the Sheng family already knows the reason in advance. After saying this, Song Xiaoji continued, Actually, this matter has nothing to do with the Sheng family. The Song family's real enemy is the Shun family. It started 25 years ago. Because of a mission from old Master Shun, the 5 members of the Song family were killed. The only one left was my father. He had been preparing a revenge plan for more than 20 years. It's only because Sheng Xiao became Zhongting and supported the current mayor that my father listed him as his #1 enemy. You, on the other hand, are purely a pawn that Gu Ziling's grandfather offered to please my father. My father wanted to use you to take revenge on the Sheng family, and kept you as the last scapegoat. You know all of this. After Sheng Kai heard this, he felt his mind was in a mess. After a moment of silence, he finally figured out the reason. Gu Ziling's grandfather is also your father's lackey? Her grandfather isn't a good person either. His business is a mess. My father only helped him because he wanted to open up the market in Jianchuan. So, who should I blame? Shankai didn't understand either. He only sneered, feeling that he was too naive. Next, my father and brother will definitely have more plans. This also means that I will have many opportunities to get close to the evidence of their crimes. Shankai, do you want to be safe, or do you want to help me? Shankai was stunned by Song Qiaoji's sudden question. He couldn't say anything for a long time. If you stay like this, my father and brother won't deal with you now. They'll leave you until the end. But if you take the risk with me, your body might be found in the mountains in a few days. You'll die the same way as those girls in Changrong Electronics. Even the murderer won't be found, and the police won't dare to investigate further. Song Xiaoji's words were indeed enough to test Shankai, but for some reason, he didn't want to be someone who would sit back and wait for death. It took him 2 seconds to make such a decision. Shankai felt that he was probably crazy. What are you going to use to bribe me? Hearing this, Song Xiaoji stopped the car at the side. Then, she suddenly leaned over and kissed Shankai's lips. Beauty? Is that enough? Shankai had been a daze for a long time because his rationality was reminding him that Song Xiaoji was definitely not as simple as he thought. He shouldn't believe anything she said. However, his emotions told him that this woman cared about him and was willing to stand with him. If he missed it just like that, perhaps there wouldn't be a next time. Don't be in a hurry to answer me. You still have a lot of time to think about it. Shankai turned his head and forced himself to calm down. Wasn't Gu Xiling in front of him enough? Chapter 870. When the news came out the next day, Mu Qiqi saw it. Knowing that her man had not suffered a loss, she was relieved. However, when she finally saw the true face of the murderer behind by Cindy's case, a chill rose in Mu Qiqi's eyes. What's so good about the newspaper? Anyway, the Song family is being suppressed by Sir. Young madam, come and have some soup. Hearing fifth aunt shout, Mu Qiqi snorted. It said that one's appearance is born from the heart. With this family's appearance, it's obvious that they've done all sorts of bad things. You're so capable that you even know how to read people's faces? Sheng Xiao said as he walked down from the second floor. People have an aura. I'm not personally attacking that Song guy. Look at you. With your wise and heroic temperament, you can shake the world wherever you go. I'll take that as a compliment. A science student like her really couldn't be expected to speak eloquently. Mu Qiqi burst out laughing. Since the Song family has declared war, I wonder what their next step is? Sheng Xiao sat down beside Mu Qiqi and reached out to take the coffee from fifth aunt. However, he did not say anything. Last night, Song Buoji's mouth couldn't leave 2 people. One was Sheng Kai, who was in Song Buoji's hands, and the other was Mu Qiqi, who he had hidden at home. Presumably, in the future, Song Buoji would also come looking for trouble with these 2 people. If Song Jiang wanted to act in secret, Song Buoji would definitely not let him have it easy. Mu Qiqi saw that her man did not say anything, so she did not ask anymore. Don't worry, I'll stay at home obediently. I won't go anywhere. Sheng Xiao actually did not want to be so harsh. In such a big place like Jianchuan, people had to give him some face. Sometimes, he would think that if Mu Qiqi was in danger, he would do whatever it took, even if he had to use his life to protect the little thing's safety. However, he did not want her to suffer even the slightest bit, especially when he thought about how Feng Shanshan had almost been sold. He could not stand it at all. Go to work. Today, fifth aunt and I are going to vacate the cloakroom for our baby's crib. Don't move heavy things, Sheng Xiao instructed. I know what to do. Don't worry. Mu Qiqi finished the soup and went to unpack the crib. Sheng Xiao shook his head helplessly. He gave fifth aunt a few more instructions before leaving. However, no one noticed that there was a small drone outside the 300-square-meter villa. It was being controlled by someone and was spying on everything here. Last night, Song Buoji said that he had just bought a useful thing, and today was the perfect day to test its performance. At the Yashan group reception, Sheng Xiao did not give the Song family any face. Song Buoji remembered this grudge in his heart. Moreover, he had always guessed that Shang Xiao had hidden Mu Qiqi. If he really did not have any fear of the Song family, why would he hide a living person? Mu Qiqi was seriously ill? Only a ghost would believe that. In the afternoon, the Song family. Song Jiang had just returned from a social engagement when he saw that Song Boji did not go to the company. Instead, he came back with a gadget. His expression turned cold, and he was a little disappointed. "Since you're back, can't you help your father?" "Of course I'm helping you." Song Boji raised a drone in his hand and said, "This thing is made in Germany. It doesn't make any noise. It's a high-tech thing. Guess what it captured?" "Boji, you're so old-fashioned. You only know how to eat with Deputy City Mayor Liang and the others all day. I don't blame you. Mu Qiqi is pregnant, so Shang Xiao hid her. It's no wonder. Your subordinate, Cheng Bin, caused a ruckus among the police, so it's understandable for him to do this." After hearing this, Song Jiang's expression returned to normal. "What do you mean? A woman giving birth is a matter of life and death. If you want to deal with Shang Xiao, you can make good use of these 10 months. So, Dad, you do your own thing in private. Leave the matter of dealing with Shang Xiao to me. I'll make him flustered and unable to spare his hands." Song Jiang nodded and solemnly instructed him. "Right now, the Shun family has a good political record. There's a high chance that he'll be reelected. If Shang Xiao continues to be a stumbling block in the middle, your father's decades of hard work will be in vain. Bring your sister along when you have time." The corners of Song Boji's mouth curled up meaningfully. "Which sister of mine? The one who wants her to watch Sheng Kai?" "Dad, it's not that I'm pouring cold water on you, but these two people will definitely cause you a lot of trouble in the end." "That's none of your business." Song Boji shrugged. He didn't plan to care. His hobby was to cause trouble for Shang Xiao. Mu Qiqi's pregnancy was a great thing. What was there to hide? Why don't he publicize the news for Shang Xiao? It was time for President Sheng to get busy. Then, he handed the photos taken by the drone to his assistant. Since he was already setting up the crib, he would let the entire Jianchuan be happy for President Sheng. Therefore, an hour later, the news of Mu Qiqi's pregnancy was posted on the internet, along with photos. The little bride of the Sheng family was not even 22 years old this year. Although she and Shang Xiao had registered their marriage abroad, the domestic law did not recognize it. Therefore, no matter how good their relationship was, Mu Qiqi was still labeled with the ugly words of premarital pregnancy. So she's not sick at all. To think that I felt sorry for her. I didn't expect her to have the president's child. She dares to have a child before she's married, as expected of the little bride of the Sheng family. She's the same person who seduced a man at the age of 17. Although there was no photo of Mu Qiqi's pregnant belly in the photo, wasn't it obvious enough from the time she dropped out of school to setting up the crib at home? In an instant, the news of Mu Qiqi's pregnancy caused 1,000 waves. There was envy, jealousy, sarcasm, and ridicule. "President, should we get the media to block the news?" Su Che stood in front of Sheng Xiao and asked. "If young madam sees this, it will affect her mood." "There's no need," Sheng Xiao replied lightly. "We can't hide it from that thing. Then are we just going to let it go?" It was obvious who had done it. It was only the second day after returning to the country, and they already knew that they were going to make a move. It seemed like they adapted very quickly. "I originally wanted to spend the next 10 months quietly and let her give birth to the baby in a low-key manner. It seems like the Song family is here to disrupt my plan and make me busy. The people outside are scolding young madam so badly. If you think that these things will make that little thing unable to eat, then you're gravely mistaken. She doesn't care at all." Therefore, Sheng Xiao felt that there was no need to take this matter to heart. If the Song family thought that this could deal a blow to Mu Qiqi's young heart, then let them think so. Chapter 871. When Mu Qiqi heard the news, she had just woken up from her afternoon nap. Seeing Fifth Ant's ugly expression, he guessed that something had happened. Therefore, she didn't need to ask. She just needed to take out her phone and take a look. In this information age, there was nothing that she couldn't know. He took out his phone and went online to check. It didn't take much effort. He could see the news about himself at a glance. It was as exciting as it could be. Fifth Aunt was afraid that her mood would be affected by the comments on the internet, so she quickly sat beside her and comforted her. Don't care about those comments. Anyway, as long as you have Sir's love, it's fine. These people are just saying it. It's no big deal. Mu Chi threw the phone away nonchalantly. It was just as Sheng Xiao said. In this world, no one knew her better than Sheng Xiao. Looks like you're not angry. I'm angry. Mu Chi said angrily. If I had known that someone was taking pictures of me, I would have dressed better. I'm so ugly now. Fifth Aunt was speechless. Although she was used to being careless, if it were any other girl, she would have long wanted to find a place to hide, or rather, find a country where no one knew her and hide. A girl's reputation was very important. Aunt Wu, I'm hungry. Is there any chicken soup left in the morning? It's delicious. Fifth Aunt smiled silently and quickly got up to get the chicken soup for her. Mu Chi sighed. She suddenly felt that the paparazzi nowadays were too dedicated. That was when Shang Xiao called. Master Xiao, are you a diviner? I just woke up. Recently, you've been sleeping until around 3 o'clock. That's why I called at this time. You've seen the news, haven't you? Shang Xiao stood in front of the French window in his office and called Mu Chi. I saw it. Mu Chi pouted. Which paparazzi took this secretly? The paparazzi can't get in. It might be a drone, Shang Xiao replied. Stinky thing, I'm asking about your mood. What's wrong with that? From the day I fell in love with you when I was 17, I already knew that I was being rebellious. Do I still need others to tell me? Mu Chi snorted. Why? Are you envious that I can have a child at the age of 21, or that I have a husband like you? If they have the ability, they can give birth to. I knew it. The corners of Shang Xiao's lips curled up slightly. If Song Boiji wanted to use these things to hurt Mu Chi and the Shun family, it would not be enough to keep him busy. All right, I really didn't take it to heart. You can continue with your work. I want to continue my handicraft business. Don't use a knife, Shang Xiao reminded her. I know. Old men are so long-winded. With that, Mu Chi quickly hung up. Shang Xiao had the urge to strangle the thing when he heard that it was an old man. On the other side, Fifth Aunt brought the chicken soup and placed it in front of Mu Chi. She was also smiling. Mr. Sheng loves you. He likes to worry about nothing. When I met him, he was 26 years old. Fifth Aunt, you haven't seen his cynical tone. If he was unhappy, he would grab someone and hang them on the opposite mountain for a few days. Every day, he made old Master Sheng so angry that he was foaming at the mouth. Now that he's old, he's no longer energetic. When Fifth Aunt heard this, she laughed so hard that she couldn't straighten her back. That's because he's mature and has a sense of family responsibility. This is a good thing. Sai, I'm just old. In any case, the outside world was in an uproar because of Mu Chi-Chi's pregnancy. However, she herself was very calm. In any case, whether others knew or not did not affect her. In any case, she just did not go out and anger the Song family. However, the Shun and Sheng families might inevitably be criticized by others. This was also a taboo for Shang Xiao. Therefore, in the evening, Shang Xiao planned to go to the Shun family first to know their attitude. Just as the news of Mu Chi-Chi's pregnancy was flying around, Song Xiaoji was dragged away for questioning by the police. Song Xiaoji was pulled in for questioning by the police because she seemed to be involved in Feng Shanshan's kidnapping. However, Song Xiaoji seemed to have already thought of an excuse. She called her a middle-aged woman because she had hired a housekeeper to clean her house, who knew that after she took Feng Shanshan away that day, she would be schemed against by this woman. Later, Feng Shanshan was locked up in the upstairs house by this swindler. Because both houses belonged to her, she gave the woman a spare key. The police then went to verify Song Xiaoji's story. Song Jiang also spent money to put pressure on her, so Song Xiaoji was fine for the time being, waiting for the police to further investigate. When she came out of the police station, Sheng Kai's car was parked outside. When Song Xiaoji saw him, she was a little surprised. "Why are you here?" "I'm taking you out for dinner," Sheng Kai said as he opened the car door. "Come in. Have you thought about what I said last night?" Song Xiaoji asked for Sheng Kai's answer the moment She opened her mouth. Didn't you say that I have time to think about it slowly? You might have to be prepared. It's a little long for me to think about it, Sheng Kai replied. Then, he drove away from the police station with Song Xiaoji. Mu Chi is pregnant. I believe you've seen the news. Halfway through, Song Xiaoji suddenly said to Sheng Kai, so it's very likely that my brother will use Mu Chi's pregnancy to attack Sheng Xiao. I don't want to pay attention to their matters now. I just want to have a quiet meal, Sheng Kai replied. It can also be considered a celebration for me to finally get my divorce certificate and be single again. Sheng Kai, actually, you can tell me your true identity and true purpose. After all, whether you're Song Jiang's daughter or a spy, to me, you're the only one by my side now. Sheng Kai suddenly tilted his head and looked at Song Xiaoji seriously. You don't believe what I said before? It's not that I don't believe you, but I'm skeptical. Actually, after I calm down, I'll find that there are many flaws in your words. For example, you told me that you're a police spy not long after you met me. If this is true, then you should have died thousands of times. Your father is such a suspicious person. You said that you came to avenge your mother and even receive training. However, I feel that when Song Jiang recognizes you, he will definitely investigate you thoroughly. Actually, Song Xiaoji, what's there to lie to me about? Song Xiaoji was a little nervous. She even clenched her hands tightly. Then why do you think I lied to you? Let's not talk about this tonight. We'll talk about it later. What do you want to eat? Unexpectedly, Sheng Kai suddenly changed the topic. After experiencing Gu Xiling and wandering between the line of life and death, do you think I'll still be so gullible? If you don't know what to eat, I'll take you to my usual place. Chapter 872. In the evening, Sheng Xiao returned home from Zhongting and went to the Shun residence. Seeing that Grandpa Shun was fishing at the pond, she followed him and sat down beside him. I haven't fished with you for many years. Old Master Shun tilted his head and saw that it was eighth brother. He snorted softly. You know that I'll be angry. It's normal for you to be angry. Eighth brother, I won't blame you for letting Chi-Chi become a mother at the age of 21. After all, it was Chi-Chi's own will. But I'm distressed that you didn't take care of her reputation. I'm old and I don't care about it. But Xiao-Chi still has a long way to go. How will others look at her in the future if she bears the stigma of being pregnant before marriage? You know Xiao-Chi doesn't care, so why are you blaming eighth brother? Behind the two of them, Shun Jianchuan suddenly said, Dad, this is the Song family's doing. Speaking of which, we've implicated Xiao-Chi. After hearing his son's words, Grandpa, Shun did not say a word. It's already good enough that eighth brother is putting on airs for you. Don't be too harsh on him. You've already said it. What else do I have to care about? Old Master Shin snorted. 25 years ago, the Song family was not a good person. 25 years later, they've raised a nest of little bastards. If you want to blame someone, blame me for not getting rid of them back then. It was my negligence that allowed the Song family to take advantage of the loophole. Sheng Xiao answered the two of them. However, this should only be the beginning. What are your plans now? Sheng Xiao stared at Shin Jianchuan and did not say anything. The battle with the Song family was probably not something that could be resolved in a short period of time. Therefore, there was no need to mobilize so many people for such a small matter. Don't worry, grandfather. I'll make arrangements for cheer. That's why I'm here. After Shun Jianchuan heard that, he patted Sheng Xiao's chest. I know that you want to know what the other members of the Shun family think. On this issue, the Shun family has always been against outsiders. It's not Chi-Chi's fault. Your grandfather and I don't care about our reputation that much. Thanks, Dad. You don't have to carry all these things on your shoulders. Don't you think you're under enough pressure? Go back and tell Chi-Chi to rest in peace. With that, Sheng Xiao naturally went home on time. This man had never been afraid of anything, but he cared about Mu Chi-Chi's feelings and considered all her concerns. The reason why he went to the Shun family first was that he wanted to be confident when he comforted that thing. When he entered the door, Mu Chi-Chi was reading a nutrition book. Sheng Xiao put down his coat and stared at it. The book is upside down. Can you understand it? Mu Chi pretended to be serious and failed. She got up from the sofa. I was afraid that you would think too much, so I played along with you. I just wanted to shun family. Grandpa and Dad didn't mind. You don't have to worry about them feeling embarrassed. I'm not worried at all. It's not like they've known me for a day or two. They're already used to my deviant ways. It's just that this song guy is making fun of me on the second day. Not bad. Don't worry. I'll return him a big gift in 2 days. Sheng Xiao carried her upstairs and placed her on the chaise lounge beside the desk. Suche has already gone to deal with it. The matter will be suppressed tomorrow. I thank his ancestors for telling the world about this on my behalf. Looking at Mu Chi-Chi's expression, Sheng Xiao waved at her. Come here. What are you doing? Mu Chi-Chi got up and walked to Sheng Xiao before sitting on his lap. Sheng Xiao put his hand into Mu Chi-Chi's shirt and gently caressed her lower abdomen. Say hello to the one in your stomach. He's only a little big now. Mu Chi-Chi hugged Sheng Xiao's neck and lowered her head. Batian, grow up quickly and come out of my stomach as soon as possible. Sheng Xiao frowned slightly. He felt that if his son were to come out and find out that he had such a name, he would probably want to return to his mother's womb and change his gender. As Mu Chi-Chi spoke, she also moved around on Sheng Xiao's lap. Unexpectedly, a moment later, Mu Chi-Chi noticed that something was wrong. Master Xiao, you can't be. You're such a beast. I'm already pregnant. Sheng Xiao did not think much of it. He just held her down and did not let her move around. Sometimes, I can even react when I think of your name. What's more, you're sitting in my arms, huh? Mu Chi-Chi's face instantly turned red. Do you like me that much? What do you think? Such a low and seductive voice made Mu Chi-Chi feel that her bones were going soft. Wait for me for 3 months. Well, idiot. Such a big thing had happened to Mu Chi-Chi, but the Sheng family and the Shun family did not react. They did not clarify or say anything. The two families acted as if nothing had happened. They allowed the people of Jianchuan to mock them without getting angry. Song Buji thought about it and realized that it made sense. Sheng Xiao and Mu Chi-Chi were not ordinary people. They could be together at the age of 17. Of course, they did not care about etiquette, justice, or shame. Of course, he did not have any benefits in exposing this matter. He was just stepping on Sheng Xiao's bottom line. At the same time, he could take revenge for last night. Sheng Xiao wanted to hide Mu Chi-Chi, but he would not let him. Today, he had only exposed the news of Mu Chi-Chi's pregnancy. Next, he wanted to lure Mu Chi-Chi out. Staying at home all the time was harmful to pregnant women's health, wasn't it? However, Sheng Xiao's precautions were, of course, flawless. If he came into contact with Mu Chi-Chi just like that, of course, he would not have any connections. The drone could only enter once. Therefore, he had his eyes on a very easy target to approach. Lu Qianqian. Mu Chi-Chi only had 2 best friends. Feng Shanshan had a police officer by her side, so she was not to be trifled with. Lu Qianqian only had a boyfriend who was often at school. In addition, Papa Lu had already passed away. How tiring would it be for a little girl to guard the Lu Corporation? He should go and help. On the second day after Mu Chi-Chi's pregnancy was exposed, people thought that Sheng Xiao would not make a move and allow the matter to ferment. However, the next day, the boss of the website that first exposed Mu Chi-Chi's pregnancy went abroad overnight. This was a popular cultural forum. It was shut down in the morning and completely offline at noon. At night, it turned cold, according to Suche's words. If you want to expose it, go ahead. We won't suppress the news. We'll only suppress your boss. If the media is unconvinced, feel free to provoke us. I'll take my time. I'll greet them one by one. No one knew what Sheng Xiao's family background was, but some people wanted to waste time with him. They felt that Sheng Xiao was too much of a bully. Chapter 873. After this, all the major media outlets quickly went offline. There were some people who could not be touched in Jianchuan. It didn't seem like anything would happen even if you did. In any case, Sheng Xiao wouldn't embarrass you in front of you, but you wouldn't know what he wanted to do behind your back. It seemed that as long as it was related to Mu Chi-Chi, he would never be lazy He was very patient. Even if you were just a small shop, you would still be punished. Song Buoji looked at Sheng Zhao's way of dealing with the problem. He didn't expect it to be so exciting. It was just a day and a night. Although there were people talking about it, there was no more news about Mu Chi-Chi's pregnancy in the mainstream media. The onlookers were just joining in on the fun. Since there was no more news, they naturally chose to pay attention to other news. They had scolded and criticized her. At the end of the day, Mu Chi-Chi's pregnancy had nothing to do with them. In fact, Mu Chi-Chi was not completely calm amidst the scolding. For example, one of them said, "In the past, when I saw Mu Chi-Chi, I thought that she was a sensible person who knew what she wanted. She was born in a rich family, but she was willing to work as a forensic doctor. But now, seeing that she gave birth to a child for a man at the age of 21, I suddenly feel that she's just an ordinary girl. She's probably forgotten all her dreams." In other words, just because she had a child, she could delay her dreams? Giving birth was only a year away. She could go back to school and start all over again. The reason why these people looked down on her so much was because they didn't understand her feelings for Sheng Xiao. They also didn't know how worthy Sheng Xiao was. Of course, she wouldn't really remember these speculations. Why should she impose her own thoughts on others? Things were like a hurricane. They came and went quickly, and they soon calmed down. However, everyone's state changed from not knowing that Mu Chi-Chi was pregnant to knowing that she was pregnant. Mu Chi-Chi had always thought that the Song family had already regarded her as a target and would think of all kinds of ways to deal with her. This was just the beginning. She didn't expect that the Song family wouldn't make any moves for a few days. Did they give up so quickly? Of course, Sheng Xiao had said that he would return Song Buoji with a big gift. There should be some progress in the next 2 days. Although Song Buoji didn't seem to be moving, he was actually studying how to get close to Lu Qianqian without being noticed by the Sheng family. If he really got involved with Lu Qianqian, wouldn't it be a huge blow to Mu Chi-Chi? After the two of them ate that day, Sheng Kai sent Song Qiaoji back to his residence. After the two of them exposed the lie, Song Qiaoji could say very little to Sheng Kai. Perhaps she did not have the time to respond to his provocation. She had to admit that she was not a spy. She was acting and talking like this to win people's trust. Otherwise, Song Jiang would not have kept her alive until now. No one knew her depth. Even she herself sometimes felt as if she was wearing 2 masks. She wasn't a cop, but she really wanted revenge. But it wasn't because of her mother, because she didn't even know who her mother was. She wanted to use Sheng Kai, but unfortunately, Sheng Kai saw through her. The two of them hadn't seen each other for a few days. Finally, when Sheng Kai was about to change his dressing, Song Qiaoji appeared in front of him with a medical kit. The two of them looked at each other awkwardly and smiled. "I thought you were scared by me. I haven't waited for your answer yet." After saying this, Song Qiaoji walked past Sheng Kai and sat on a sofa. "Come over and change your dressing. If you don't tell me your real purpose, I don't think I'll agree," Sheng Kai replied. "I don't want my life to be filled with lies anymore." Song Qiaoji took out a pair of scissors and a brand new gauze. As she cleaned Sheng Kai's new wound, she sighed. "I'm indeed not a spy, but I'm indeed the daughter of the Song family. What I want to avenge is not the murder of my mother, but the murder of my husband. When Song Jiang found me, I was already engaged and living a happy life. However, Song Jiang used my fiancé to do things for him. He squeezed out all his value and then kicked him away. In the end, my fiancé couldn't bear the burden and committed suicide by jumping into the sea. He took me in and did dirty things for him. Of course, he didn't believe me, so Feng Shanshan's kidnapping was the most disgusting thing he made me do." Sheng Kai tilted his head to look at her and could see the obvious emotions in her eyes. This time, it was true. She wasn't lying. "It took me a year to get out of that shadow. I relied on sending Song Jiang to prison. Does Song Jiang know about you pretending to be an undercover? He knows. Otherwise, do you think he would have tolerated me? I pretended to be an undercover police officer and did something for him. That's why he didn't ask so much," Song Qiaoji answered. "Every day I live, I'm disgusted by my identity and Song Jiang. Even if you don't believe me this time, I'm telling the truth. I believe you." Sheng Kai slowly put on his shirt when he saw that the bandage was done. He's far more perverted and disgusting than you think. You're now the CEO of Changrong Electronics. Haven't you noticed that the HR manager is very strange when recruiting people? Of course, Sheng Kai had noticed it. However, after taking over, he didn't have the mood to deal with Bicini's case. They're all young women between the ages of 22 and 26. Song Jiang has a secret clubhouse in a hotel in J-City. He specially invites his friends to drink. I learned all of this from my fiancé. Before he died, he told me not to investigate further. But I know that from there, I can send Song Jiang directly to hell. After Sheng Kai heard this, he felt very complicated. Changrong Electronics had died. For people had died one after another, and there was one more outside. These fresh human lives were so easily judged as suicides. But how can it be so easy to get close to Song Jiang's dirty deeds? I've been wandering around for the past few years. I can't get in. Sheng Kai, when I saw you, I just felt that we were in the same boat. I didn't mean to hurt you, really. After Sheng Kai heard this, he held Song Qiaoji's hand. Compared to this, I'm more afraid of lies. Song Qiaoji was stunned. In the past, I lost my way for power and money, but now that I think about it, I can only take advantage of my family. I'm useless and childish. I never thought that one day I would be in such a dangerous situation. The people around me could lose their lives at any time. I'm not as brave as you think, and I've done a lot of wrong things. When danger comes, I don't know if I'll leave you alone. But if you're willing to believe me, maybe I can muster up the courage to take the risk. Chapter 874. I don't know how many years I've been competing with Eighth Brother, with Grandpa, and with my own face. In the future, I won't care about these things anymore. I just want to live as I please. After Sheng Kai said this, he felt that he was extremely childish. So, in Sheng Zhao's eyes, it should be the same, right? That's right. Only by casting aside the superficial nothingness can one live freely. After saying this, Song Qiaoji walked to Sheng Kai's wine cabinet and took out a bottle of red wine and a goblet. I think this moment is worth celebrating. The two of them sat on the sofa and drank. Unknowingly, the atmosphere became a little awkward and a little ambiguous. Sheng Kai put down his wine glass and looked at Song Qiaoji, whose cheeks were flushed red. Then, do you still love your fiancé? It's been so long. What's there to love? I'm sorry. Song Qiaoji lowered her head and replied, every time I think of his cold corpse, there's a sense of hatred in my heart that drives me to seek revenge on Song Jiang. It's all in the past. Sheng Kai held her hand and said, it's getting late. Go back and rest early. Song Qiaoji shook her head and lay on the sofa. I'll stay here with you. In that aspect, I'm a beast in human clothing, Sheng Kai said bluntly. Song Qiaoji used the alcohol to straddle Sheng Kai's body. She hooked his chin and said tipsily, it just so happens that I'm an authoritative doctor in this field. Don't you want something to happen in such an atmosphere? If he didn't want to, would he still be a man? However, Sheng Kai couldn't tell what kind of feelings he had for Song Qiaoji. He just felt that it wasn't a bad feeling. In a daze, he would also realize that he was a moth, clearly aware that there was a bright flame in front of him, yet he still rushed forward without any regard for his own safety. The next morning, Sheng Kai woke up on the sofa with Song Qiaoji lying beside him. The two of them faced each other honestly. It was obvious that no matter what should or should not have happened, it had already happened last night. It was precisely because she was an expert in this area that Song Qiaoji was more open about such matters. She was not like Gu Xiling, who waited for a man to please her. This surprised Sheng Kai. Then, the doorbell rang. Sheng Kai carried Song Qiaoji to the bed and covered her body with a thin blanket. However, Sheng Kai did not expect the person to be Song Jiang. Last night, he even slept with someone else's daughter. Godfather. When Song Jiang saw him, he knew what had happened last night. Is Xiao Qiao here? Sheng Kai was stunned for a second and nodded. She's still sleeping. Then let her sleep. We're both men. I can understand. Godfather came here today because he has an errand for you to do. However, you and Xiao Ji are like glue. I'm afraid you won't be able to separate. Just tell me, Godfather, Shang Kai said readily. There are a few friends in J City that I need you to help me take care of. Can you help me take care of them? Of course I can. Shang Kai nodded in reply. However, his heart turned cold because Song Jiang was going to drag him down completely. They knew very well what was in J City. Then pack up and leave at noon. Xiaoji can't go. I still have other things to tell her. Song Jiang instructed. In fact, he wanted to hold Song Xiaoji in his hands and prevent her from playing any tricks. All right, since it's still early, I won't disturb the two of you. After Song Jiang finished speaking, he left Shang Kai's apartment. Behind the door, Song Xiaoji had already heard the conversation between the two of them. Once Song Jiang left, she walked out. He asked you to contact the people in J City. If anything happens, you'll be the first one to be in trouble. Both of their expressions were ugly, but Shang Kai smiled. You have to pay the price for sleeping with his daughter, don't you? Shang Kai, I'll only be gone for 3 days. I'll be fine. If I find anything, I'll contact you. Song Xiaoji did not say anything. She just walked up to Shang Kai and reached out to hug him. You have to live. Shang Kai was speechless. He just carried Song Xiaoji horizontally and returned to the bedroom. This trip was like a bottomless abyss. In the afternoon, Zhongting, Suche had already made all the arrangements. Then, he asked for Sheng Zhao's opinion. You can return the favor now. Are we going to make a move? Go back. Sheng Zhao only said 2 words. Of course, he did not know that his operation this time would unconsciously save Shang Kai from a dangerous journey. After preparing for a few days, a hotel in J City finally made a move. Because someone had reported that the hotel was involved in illegal activities and had attached evidence, the police were now keeping an eye on a certain hotel. This happened while Shang Kai was packing his things. Song Jiang suddenly called. Kai, you don't have to go for the time being. There's a small situation over there. Before Shang Kai could figure out the whole story, Song Jiang hung up the phone. Sheng Xiao had used Mama Bai's death. She was a pimp when she was alive, and the people she handled had a lot of contact with Su Hong. Someone had reported that a certain hotel provided illegal services and provided the small cards found in the hotel. Moreover, the information had been posted everywhere. It was not easy for the higher-ups to suppress it, so they had to come over to go through the procedures. These were all small matters, but small matters delayed Song Jiang's important matters. Song Jiang had a party on Saturday, and now that he was being watched by the police at all times, how would those timid people dare to come to the party? However, it had not been easy for him to get together. Now, no matter what, it was going to be ruined. Who was the one behind the report? Is he tired of living? It was rare for Song Jiang to lose his temper, but for a while, he did not link it to Sheng Xiao. After all, Jianchuan was hundreds of kilometers away from J City. However, Song Boji firmly believed that this matter definitely had something to do with Sheng Xiao. Dad, we should have changed places a long time ago. I know. Song Jiang nodded. Let me find the person behind this. I'll definitely make him pay the price. I'm afraid you won't have the chance because you can't touch that person now. Song Boji smiled. Think about it. Other than him, who else could spoil your plans? Weren't you thinking of ways to keep him busy? Now you're busy with me? He's taking revenge. He's taking revenge on me for exposing Mu Chi-Chi's pregnancy, Song Boji guessed. Dad, you're not careful enough and let the people around Sheng Xiao take advantage of you. I'll be more careful in the future. After Song Jiang said that, he returned to his room. He thought about how much money he had spent to invite those people to a gathering, but now it was all ruined. Of course, because he did not tell Shang Kai about these things beforehand, he did not think that Shang Kai had leaked the information. This matter would not have succeeded without a few days of planning, and it was impossible for Shang Kai to predict the future. Chapter 875. If it wasn't troublesome, wouldn't he be at his mercy? Sheng Xiao was never a man to be trifled with. Who in Jianchuan didn't know that? It was precisely because he knew that Sheng Xiao wasn't easy to deal with that Song Boji knew that he had to start with his heart. But Mu Chi-Chi didn't go out. It didn't matter. He had already put down the hook and was waiting for the fish to take the bait. If he wanted to get in touch with Lu Qianqian, of course, he had to start with the Lu Corporation. However, this little girl in her early 20s had managed the Lu Corporation so well. It seemed that she hadn't experienced much. Since he wanted to have a relationship with Lu Qianqian, he had to create trouble for her and then help her solve the problem. Her little boyfriend probably wouldn't show up every time to shield her from the wind and rain, right? Sooner or later, the two of them would have to separate. Thinking about it, after he succeeded with Lu Qianqian, she would bring him to visit Mu Qiqi. That scene would be so exciting. Some people would definitely go crazy. Why was Song Buozhi so confident? Because Lu Qianqian didn't know about the grudge between the Song family, Sheng Xiao, and Mu Qiqi. Moreover, he would make Lu Qianqian walk into a trap step by step. Sheng Kai was spared from a calamity. Song Xiaoji's face lit up. Their relationship had improved by leaps and bounds last night, and they were now the closest relationship. Although they didn't know how long this relationship could last, the two injured people seemed to have a common understanding. They would go wherever they could. At the very least, they wouldn't let each other down. A few days had passed since the pregnancy was exposed. The Song family didn't seem to have made much of a move. Mu Qiqi heaved a sigh of relief, but she was afraid that the Song family would plot an even bigger scheme. Therefore, from time to time, she would call the people around her to ensure that they weren't being harassed by the Song family. You're just a worrywart. When the baby is born, there'll be a lot of things waiting for you. Seeing that she was restless, Fifth Aunt quickly said, "There's a teacher for everything outside. Since you're taking care of the fetus, don't think about anything else. The sky won't fall." Mu Qiqi thought to herself that she was right. But Fifth Aunt, I don't want to do handicrafts anymore. Mu Qiqi felt a little guilty when she saw the half-damaged products she had wasted. What's wrong with these things? Then what do you want to do? I still want to read my own book. Mu Qiqi turned around and looked at her forensics book. She felt that it was covered in dust. Then go ahead and watch, but the more I look, the more I want to use my knife. Fifth Aunt was speechless. Forget it. I'll go see a doctor and give Batian a strong heart. Fifth Aunt did not know whether to laugh or cry. However, she felt that her young madam was pitiful. Even if there was no access control, she did not have many places to go. Some people in the school said that the forensics laboratory was too dangerous and would not let her participate. In fact, the result was the same. She would ask the old woman to think of some ways to make this young madam happy another day. At 2 o'clock in the afternoon, in the meeting room of Lu Enterprises. At the moment, an emergency meeting was being held. Lu Enterprises had just entered the cosmetics industry, so they suffered a loss on the raw materials. They had already agreed on the purchase price with the seller, but in just a few days, the raw material seller changed his mind and increased the price several times. Lu Qianqian was so angry that she went to the raw material merchants several times. However, they deliberately avoided her and did not give her any chance. He changed his mind just like that, completely disregarding the spirit of the contract. "Mr. Lu, why don't we use other raw materials? He's not the only one." The assistant tried to persuade her because Lu Qianqian had gone up the mountain several times, but there was no result. If this continued, it would be a waste of time. Although I'm angry on the surface, in terms of raw materials, their quality is still the best. If it's really just a doubling of the price, it's actually still within the budget. I'm just afraid that this boss won't even give me a chance to negotiate. Lu Qianqian rejected her assistant's suggestion and went up the mountain again. "But you can't keep waiting like this. Go to the car. I'll be here alone." Lu Qianqian was wearing a white professional suit and white high heels. She was clearly feeling uncomfortable, but she was still unwilling to accept the result in her heart. She was not willing to settle for the next best thing. A moment later, the sun shone down, and Lu Qianqian was already sweating profusely. At this moment, a blue Maybach stopped by the roadside, and a black figure got out of the car. Of course, Lu Qianqian recognized him. Wasn't this the new rich man of Jianchuan, Song Buozhi? Of course, she knew that Song Buozhi and the Sheng family had a grudge, but she saw it as a business dispute. This was very normal. Song Buozhi walked past Lu Qianqian and went straight into the raw material merchant's villa. It turned out that he was a guest here. He was just an unrelated person, so Lu Qianqian did not care. However, a moment later, the raw material merchant asked someone to invite her in. If Miss Lu plans to use this method to solve problems in the future, then you're really easy to bully. Song Boji smiled as he came out of the living room and handed her his silk scarf. Choose another time in the future. It's new now. Lu Qianqian was amazed. Before she could react, she took the silk scarf from Song Boji. The raw material merchant said, Mr. Song and I are friends. Since Mr. Song has spoken, of course I'll do him a favor. The price will still be calculated according to the contract, but I want a fixed amount. Lu Qianqian suddenly realized that the other party had agreed to sign a new contract with her. However, why was the Song family helping her? Lu Qianqian felt that this person was strange. She really wanted to turn around and ask him, but Song Boji had already left the villa. However, I have a question. Miss Lu, do you and Mr. Song know each other? Lu Qianqian shook her head. This is the first time I've met him. It's not strange. This Mr. Song is easy to lend a helping hand. It's your luck that you met him today. After saying that, the raw material merchant called his lawyer to renegotiate the contract with the Lu Corporation. Lu Qianqian looked at the man's handkerchief in her hand and was a little fearful. Boss, forget it. I don't plan to sign the contract for the time being. She believed that there was no such thing as a pie falling from the sky for no reason. She didn't want to owe someone a favor for no reason. As for this handkerchief, she had to find an opportunity to return it to the Song family. It seemed to be very expensive. The assistant saw her coming out of the villa in a daze and quickly went up to her. CEO Lu, where's the man who drove the Maybach just now? He left, the assistant replied. Lu Qianqian sighed and handed the handkerchief to the assistant. Go and check the address of the Yashang group for me and send this over. This, a man's handkerchief? The assistant was a little surprised. After all, it was easy for people to think of adultery. Lu Qianqian had a fiancé after all. If she was involved with someone else, it would be terrible. You're tuning into the Romance Rendezvous YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.